another edition of From a Third Eye View on Pie Radio, hosted by myself. I am joined by my co-host JV and Mr. So welcome back.
Oh no.
Yeah, man. So good to have you back. And we also joined by a very special guest, Mike. Give it the round of applause, man. Yeah, come closer to the mic. Don't act shy.
Round of applause, man.
Don't act shy. See that people.
Welcome.
Anyway, let's get into the show. Anyway, where we will start. FA Cup final.
Got to.
I just want to say from United, like being a United fan, from United standpoint, Arsenal are the only other team, the only other fans on social media that are completely unbearable. You know what I'm saying? Like we're bad. Like I know I'm unbearable as a United fan. We are bad, and Arsenal is just like imagine they ever become successful again,
bro.
Like how bad it would be. Like they really are.
Like they're terrible and they're still unbearable.
Yo, my brother, you know what the maddest thing is? If you would have said to me who's going to be the unbearable set of fans at the end of the season, I'd be looking over to Stroh there and the Liverpool fans. The Arsenal fans, in a few days, have been more unbearable than the Liverpool fans. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. I actually kind of like Arsenal. I don't know. I've got a little something back in the day.
No. You like AFTV. That's what you like when they lose. That's what they
Nah, it's not that, bro. I like the old school Arsenal with the
like
Henry and them man there. You get what I'm saying? I feel that. But these man, oh, bro, the unbearable, man. Like, all of a sudden, it's the uncrud back in the squad. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I didn't hear him talking nothing earlier on in the season.
I
you
get
know
what you're saying. Yo, Faris, can you hear me now? Salute to everybody in the comments. Big up Georgia.
Salute
big
to
up
Faris always.
You take that the second one down. I can't say that name, JV. That's you. That this one here, the second one.
Yeah, any pronunciations, man.
Yo, Otai Urwa Abdullahi. Yeah,
that's fine.
You get me? Urwa Abdullahi.
That's fine.
My guy, you get
that's
me?
Fine. Yeah, Faris, can you hear me now? Like, you know what it's like. You should be able to hear
Shout
me
out Faris as well.
Shout out to Faris. But yeah, I just wanted to get it off my chest about Arsenal fans really being unbearable. And it is kind of common for me because I'm unbearable and United fans in general on social media.
You're the worst.
Stroh knows this, obviously being being a Liverpool fan, what I'm like. But yeah, it's kind of calmer. But anyway, let's get into shout out Malcolm as well.
My guy.
Let's get into the game. So Yannicka, we'll start with you because you're trying to act like you're quiet and that. So who did you have? Who did you think was gonna win before the game?
It's Arsenal's cup, innit? They've won it the most out of everyone. So, normally I would think Chelsea would be the stronger team. But I think just based on that and the fact that most of them players have won it before. So it's one of them things where you kind of get into the habit of winning something and then it becomes easier. So I'd say for that reason, Arsenal, obviously they played well against us. They knocked us out. So, yeah, they had good chances. But then Chelsea were a good side as well. So I wasn't really sure, but I was thinking maybe Arsenal just based off that.
I hear that. Yeah, for those who don't know, Yannicka is a City fan, by the way, people as well, just to elaborate on that. But go on, Stroke. Who did you think was going? What was your prediction beforehand?
The problem is in the FA Cup, it's the only time Arsenal can't get Arsenal because they've just won it the most. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, if this was just a standard Premier League game, for a fact they'd have lost. David Luiz would have made about 3 or 4 errors, give away 2 penalties, sent off, like some madness. So it's like, looking at it though, like the way Chelsea played with Pulisic and stuff like that, and obviously the fact that they played Giroud, like I thought it was a good starting lineup for Chelsea. And when I seen the starting lineups, I did favour Chelsea. As soon as the game started though, I think it's one of them, when you score too early, it's one of them games where Chelsea scored too early and Arsenal just completely bullied them after that. Yeah. They just fell apart, Chelsea. And this is the problem I have with Lampard. He's done an unbelievable job.
Go on. I didn't know you had a problem with Lampard, but I want to hear this now. Go on.
Drop that bomb, B.
No. He's done an amazing job this season, but you see it with other managers like Brendan Rodgers when he was at us, prime example, you've not got that experience to challenge for a title. You've not got that experience to go, do you know what I mean? Like, you need someone experienced. So you look at Brendan Rodgers, who was going up against, was it Mancini or someone like that at the time? Can't remember who the City manager was. But someone who's got experience, who's known for winning titles. Jerry's won titles as a player. Yeah. So every Chelsea fan that's popping up in Twitter like, oh, but we're going to challenge next season. We've got Werner and Ziyech. No, you're not. You're gonna challenge for top 4 again.
I'm just laughing at your fan voice. That's what it is. I love fan voices.
You're gonna challenge for top 4 again. Let's be realistic.
You know what it
Malcolm
is,
here said yesterday Frank Lampard was Frank Lamppost. You lot got jokes,
Right.
you know.
Yo, oi, mate. Them last week were killing me.
I love the comments, you know.
Nah,
I
it's
love
Frank
the comments.
Lamchops, man.
Go on, JV. Who did you predict to win the FA Cup final?
You know what? When I just read the names,
Yeah.
so I read Arsenal and I read Chelsea, there was only one winner for me. It should have been Chelsea. Yeah. But when I looked at the lineups, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I looked at Arsenal's defence, said, wow, that's dead. I looked at the midfield, said, oh, that's dead. And then I looked at the up front and I said, you know what?
They got a chance.
That is their chance. Because then when I looked at Chelsea's and I thought, your defence is, you know what I'm saying? I thought your midfield is, you know what I'm saying? And then I thought your up front is, you know what I'm saying? So the up front was dead.
Because it was Giroud, Mason Mount, Pulisic.
From when is Mason Mount a winger?
Well, he was a 3-5-2 though, so he wasn't really playing as a wide player.
Yeah, I
He
did
was more so- he had a free
my
role.
3-4-3.
Yeah,
Down
so-
to BBC. BBC said 3-4-3. Yeah.
It is
Don't
that.
kill me in the comments. I'm just
That.
going off
It
BBC.
was a 3-4-3, but obviously, they had wing backs because they were playing Reece James
Yeah.
and Alonso.
But
So
here's
I
my
didn't
thing.
from them.
I
Go on.
don't understand, and please, people, go back on the previous shows and wheel me up because I'm going to say this point again. What I've said about Lampard.
Check this, yeah.
Check this, yeah. I don't understand why he doesn't play with 2 up front, because as much as Arsenal's looks as a 3, they drift in more. So
Yeah.
the closer, and one might pull off. So then you do end up with like a 2 and 1 behind situation.
Yeah.
Chelsea's didn't really work because
Right.
Pulisic is trying to stay wide.
Yeah.
Mount's trying to be behind.
Yeah.
And then
It's a
Giroud's
balanced.
and then Giroud's just trying to be Giroud. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to be in the box,
Yeah.
looking
that's it.
them mad type of, I don't know.
I rate Giroud though. I'm a fan.
You know what it is with him?
I'm a fan of Giroud. Like I am. Like I think he's like, for what he does, I think he's extremely underrated. Like he's not like top class, but like as a backup, I don't think you can find much better.
Do you know what it is then with Giroud?
Go on.
You have to play to his strengths.
Yes.
We've seen Giroud with like a Hazard.
Yeah.
We've seen Giroud with like a
Even Pulisic.
Nah, I'm not even getting.
You're not giving Pulisic.
Nah, I'm not giving my brother no bread. He ain't getting the bread yet. I seen him with like in the France with the World Cup.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the with the Mbappes and the Griezmanns
Griezmanns.
around him, and they're using him to someone to play the ball off.
Yeah.
Chelsea don't do that. So for me to have Giroud and not to play to his very obvious strength makes no sense. It's like us. It's like say United trying to whip in crosses all day for Martial.
I get
It's
what you're saying.
like for him to head in. It's not. It's not
It's
his
not his
strength.
core strength. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not what he's known for. With Giroud, it would make more sense if they had him in a 2. You get what I'm saying? And someone can bounce off him.
I think he's been scoring goals for them as well. That's the thing. I think it was like 9 in his last 12 starts or 10 in 12, but something crazy like that. I'm like,
But you know what that is?
See, big
That's
numbers.
due to his. Giroud's a predator. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? He's an old-fashioned type of striker. He's not gonna do a step over. He's not got a shoulder to drop. You know what I'm saying? So you get what I mean? No, that's not his game.
Yo,
Wow, no, I'm being real, fam.
Giroud has skills, fam. He's a skillful player.
Yeah,
He's a
like
skillful player.
yeah, he can head the ball really
Yeah,
well and
yeah.
he can hold it open.
Like the thing
That's
is,
his
what,
skills.
What I like about Giroud is different types of finish. Like I've
Yes.
seen him do different types of
No,
finishing.
don't get me wrong.
Like he can be in the box, but then he can also score from outside the box. type of
Yes.
thing.
What I'm saying
Left
is
foot, right
he's
foot.
not your modern day striker.
Right,
He's
yeah,
not your
that's better. I just don't
2020
like the
striker.
Giroud disrespect. You
He's
know
not,
what
he's
I'm
not
saying?
he's not your he's like a striker from last decade.
Yes.
You
I get
understand
what
where I'm
you're
coming
saying.
from?
Yeah. Formally,
In the right system, as you've seen in the World Cup, bro, this man won a World Cup without scoring.
Yes. And he was vitally important.
And he
to
was
the
probably
team.
the most, it sounds weird what I'm about to say, he was the most effective part of the attack.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because
I
he
agree.
allowed everything else to happen.
Yeah.
But Chelsea don't play to that. It's like, you get what I'm saying?
I
You've
understand
got
what
the
you're
you've
going
got the
'Cause
you've
you've not got the quality
finishing
around
jigsaw
it.
piece and you're putting it in the wrong place.
Yes.
Trying to put it in upside down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Or to the side. Or you know what I mean? Just put it in the right place. Use it properly, innit? Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? No, it's just. And this is my thing. I've said this about Lampard for time. When he used to have, he'd have Abraham on the pitch,
Yeah.
and then they'd be losing or drawing, and then he'd take off Abraham and then put on Giroud,
Yeah.
or take off Abraham and then put on Batshuayi. It's like, why not just throw 2 in them on?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I
And
think he is trying to stick. I think with Lampard, he tries to stick to like his philosophies and stuff like that. I get what you're saying though. Like I agree. Like when you're chasing a game, you literally have to throw the kitchen sink at it. So it's like,
come on,
why
man.
not play?
How
2
many
up
times
top?
we seen Fergie put on Teddy Sheringham for Henningberg, and man are like, oh my god, what's going on? Man are nervous, you know, like it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm saying, you know, the inexperience, because you look at it when Klopp's trying to chase a game, when Pep's trying to chase a game, when managers of that ilk who have got the experience in title winning chases and stuff like that and title races, you'll see them do stuff like that. Like what they do.
Use like split to a 4-4-2.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like Pep will just completely change the system.
Pep is like 3-2-9. You know what I'm saying? Pep just has everyone up front.
That says 3-2-9.
Pep, you get me? It didn't even add up. You get me?
Being a City fan, you agree with that? You understand where he's
like
coming
he
from?
will take off. Sometimes you'll think like, why is he taking, you know, a centre back off? We're only 1-0 up, and then he'll bring a centre forward on, and then we'll score again. And it's like, okay, you know, it works.
They can literally finish a game City with like Sterling on,
Yeah.
Mahrez on, Aguero on, Jesus on,
Bernardo Silva.
You get what I'm saying? Bernardo Silva.
David Silva
And then more time, if you look at the midfield, it'll just be like, it'll be the midfield will be De Bruyne, and then like Stones steps into it. Do you get what I'm saying? And then they literally have one man. They'll have one man on the halfway line, and everyone else is just directed towards the goal. And that's the difference between the experience and the non-experience. Because even someone like Arteta, you could see that he's got a way of playing those forwards. So he's right. He's very rightly so recognised Lacazette isn't firing at the moment. But if you actually watch how he's playing Lacazette as if Lacazette is a Giroud. Do you understand?
Yeah, they have similar attributes. Like,
he's using Lacazette for Aubameyang's use.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Whereas it would make sense if they said, all right, then you know what, if Chelsea said we've not got a striker like that, why don't we use Pulisic off Giroud? That would make more sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's where every time I see Aubameyang, he starts on the left, but it's not his.
He don't stay out there. He's not
exactly how we use Firmino.
Yeah, he literally has a free role.
It is Henry-esque in the way he drifts out.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So that for me, Aubameyang is the reason Arsenal won that cup.
Yeah, I don't think anyone disputes that. I think he is their difference maker, as we know, and it's not just that game. He's been their difference maker the whole season.
Yeah, it was even in the FA Cup semi-final, he did the same thing, didn't he?
Yeah, like if you take away his goals, like they are properly struggling.
Bro, I seen a stat.
The thing is, they finished 8th with his goals. So it's like, imagine you take away his goals.
Do you want to know where they finished?
Yeah, go on, where was it?
It was something like 17th or 18th.
17th.
It was I swear down.
Yeah.
It might have been 17th, 18th, or it might have even been 19th, bro. It was something mad like that. They were basically relegated without Aubameyang's goals.
Yeah, that'd be a dream.
So for me,
would be like you. Why y'all? Wait.
I know what you're like. I've had this conversation with you.
Yeah, you know what I'm like. But why are we acting like we wouldn't love to see Arsenal get relegated?
Imagine Arsenal fan TV.
You telling me, Yannick, you want
nah,
like to see Arsenal get
AFTV
relegated?
couldn't even run, bro.
Nah, they would do record-breaking
Nah,
numbers.
I think it would just be a big fight.
Television.
They would do 2 million on a live stream
I think
alone.
they'll
You know what
get
I'm saying?
rushed. I think
And 1
there'll be
million
a
of
big
those views
fight.
would be me. Like, that is great. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Yeah, it's great. We'll get through to some of the comments as well. Georgiev says, Rudiger on fraud watch, you know. We'll talk about Rudiger, actually. United should go for Southampton's. What's that name there, JB?
Sofiane Boufal.
Is he any good?
No, sir. We don't need him.
Yeah, Julius says, big up to all of us. Faris says he predicted FA Cup. I'm going.
Shout out to Faris, yeah?
Shout out to Josh as well. He said, big up you lot. Keep it coming.
Yes.
Salute to Josh. And like I said, like I always say on each show, we will try and get to all the comments possible. But obviously, if you do super chat, then we will stop the conversation and speak on whatever you brought up and that. How do you think Chelsea would line up against Bayern Munich? We'll get to that as well, Marcus. And just quick before we get off that, Georgiev says here, JV, fair point, but what would you play, a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2? He's talking about
For
Chelsea.
who? Chelsea?
Yeah,
A 3-5-2.
That's basically what it...
Nah,
it wasn't.
Pulisic is too wide.
Yeah.
You can't... You're unbalancing your team. Do you know what I'm saying? If you tell Pulisic to drift out wide, that's fine. But if he begins wide, and then so if you think about it, if Pulisic begins wide and not drifting wide, if you're drifting wide, by that I mean you start in a central position and you move out wide, yeah? By him staying out wide, if you think about it, Arsenal plays 3 centre-backs, yeah? Not the best centre-backs in the world either.
Oh,
but you left, but 3 man against 1, you're always at a handicap.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying?
Mount did drop off and he likes to play in the 10 and
yeah,
things like that.
But he likes to play 10, but sometimes he goes very deep. So you've basically then got...
Just your route.
Yeah. And then Pulisic out on the wing, but then when he's got a wing back right behind him. Do you get what I'm
I
saying?
hear what you're saying. Shout out the head honcho Sol as well in the
Yes.
building. That big up Sol. Yeah, he rushed out quick.
Sol Knight.
Sol Knight.
Come to Power Radio.
Come to Power Radio.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of it, I actually predicted. I thought that Chelsea were gonna win the final because I was just like, yo, Arsenal. Like,
You know what?
go on.
Mount,
Yeah.
swap out Mount
Yeah.
for either Willian or Pedro. It adds balance, and then it can work better.
William was injured. That's why he didn't play.
Nah, Pedro.
Pedro then?
Yeah,
Pedro come on
yeah.
and then got injured.
Yeah.
I
Pedro
don't
would've
I
been
don't buy
better.
into this
That
Mason
being
Mount
said,
hype.
When Chelsea went a goal up, I thought, yeah, that's it. I thought it's a wrap. But I did not see
Oh, no,
Arsenal.
I-
come
No,
out
I
and
knew
do
I
it.
it.
I
I
thought
knew
it
it
was,
I
but then
thought as soon as Chelsea scored the goal and the manner in which they did as well, because that is such an Arsenal goal to concede. The way
yeah, it was
Jorginho,
crazy.
the way Jorginho just played it through, broke the lines with ease. And then who span was it? Pulisic who span?
Yeah.
Can't even
Yeah,
remember.
It's like everyone, the Arsenal
It's a
team weren't
typical-
awake.
Like literally, you could change the color of that shirt to a different time Arsenal have played, and they've conceded goals like that. Like I could already
Yes.
see the rants on AFTV from conceding that goal.
Yeah.
We need to learn how to defend, Robbie.
Do you know what it was
Like
like?
that type of
It
thing.
was almost like, I don't know if it's because the occasion weren't the same. That was a weird FA Cup final, by the way. I need to get that in.
Yeah, go
I
on,
was
how do you
watching that, bro. The FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Normally, when the commentators they can't speak properly because the fans are so loud and you know what, Bobby, today it's gonna be, you know what I mean? They're talking like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, today it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? They're grabbing them and they're, so you know, I think it's gonna be good. You can see him putting the fingers in the ears because they can't really hear, and you know what I'm saying? And it's a
You know
big
what I'm
occasion.
laughing? That's exactly how they
You get what I'm saying,
sound, bro. I know
innit?
exactly.
Because the fans and all the interference, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, they were just sat there. It looked like they were on someone's balcony.
Yeah, I get what
You know
you're
what I'm saying?
Nah.
That overlooked the ground.
Yes.
And then even like at the whistle, normally like a final, at
Yeah.
the whistle, when the whistle goes, the fans, do you know what I mean? You get like that curtain of noise. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was watching it. It makes the spectacle in it, you know, with the fans, and they normally show them all walking down to Wembley and that, and it was just a weird final. And I think this is the point I was trying to get at. I think that's why Arsenal started so slow, because it's
the lack of atmosphere.
yeah, it's a weird final. Imagine, all right, then you're gearing yourself up for the final.
Yeah.
And then you're walking up like, all right, come on, lads.
And there's nothing.
Nothing.
It's
There's
just-
nothing. Do you get what I'm saying?
I
Like,
get what you mean.
so I think that's why they took so long to start up.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
I get what
Because
you're saying.
it was a weird spectacle. You know what it made me think? I got disappointed because I was like, this is what the Champions League final is going to be like. It's going to be boring,
Yeah,
bro.
but United ain't it, so that ain't
Nah,
really
man, I'm
fussed.
at football first. Football first.
Depending on who's the final, I'm football first.
Nah, Champions League final, bro.
Champions League depends who's
All right
in
then,
it.
Champions League final,
Depends who's in it.
rainy
Oh,
day.
you should have seen him
No.
last year. Oh
Champions
my
League
God.
final,
Yeah,
rainy day.
yeah.
Nothing else on telly.
Yeah.
You watching it?
I'm gonna watch it.
But this is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
imagine me watching it now, and I'm
Yeah.
saying there's no fans, bro. All right,
But-
come on, lads.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You get what I mean? It's just dead.
It's
Yeah,
dead.
that Champions League song is gonna be echoing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's
I
not
do
the
find
same.
It hard. I do find it, like I said, I do find it is not the same without
Yeah.
the fans. I do like the fact though that you can hear all the
players,
talking
yeah,
to
so
each
do
other.
I.
Like, I love
Yeah,
the
it is
players swearing
crazy.
at each other. I
It
love
is crazy.
Like it's great to see that. That's not just that like grassroots.
There's how did you see that
That's
Pepe
everywhere.
clip?
Now, what was
No,
it?
where he
when he
nutmegged
begged
Alonso
Alonso.
and you can hear the players laughing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you want to hear. That type, because that if that happens on a Saturday or Sunday, on Sunday League or Saturday League, that's the same thing that's happening. People going to react in that manner. You
Yes.
get what I'm saying? So it's good to hear that. What do you think of the refs' performance though? We'll go to you, Yannicka, because you're very critical of refs at times.
Me.
Like, yes, you don't try and act all shy and that. I've seen
Go
you
on,
on
what do you
Twitter and
think?
that. So what was your thoughts on, is it Anthony Taylor? Like,
Well, to be honest, I didn't actually watch the game,
Alright,
but I
cool.
saw the decision
Yeah.
that everyone was outraged about, and I just, from what I could see, like the picture that I saw,
Yeah.
I don't know how he could have thought that was in the box,
Yeah.
because it wasn't anywhere near. Like, it wasn't borderline. It wasn't, the angle was a bit, sometimes when it's offside, you can't really tell, especially the ref, depending on what position they're in. But that one, like, to me, that just looked really obvious. You wouldn't give a penalty for that. If somebody took someone out in that position, they wouldn't give a penalty. So then why is it not outside the box? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's true, because I even thought if that's a defender there and he's blocking a shot, you're giving a free kick. You're not giving a.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
'Cause
get.
I seen it when I was watching TV. Like I was like half watching it, and I seen it, and I'm like, I'm expecting them to blow.
Yeah, I was
already.
waiting.
So I've already,
Yeah.
so as I'm watching it, I've switched off.
I'm like,
'Cause I'm
penalty,
like,
yeah.
right, they're gonna get to penalty.
Yeah,
or
I'm like, yeah,
VAR.
red card,
And then
yeah.
the game kept going, and then I just said out loud to myself, like, right, where's VAR?
But here's the thing. That's what I was thinking. The game's going, and then they went, oh yeah, he's gonna have to have a look at this. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm still waiting, I'm thinking, where's VAR? But here's my thing. This is what really is doing my head in with the VAR.
Go on.
I don't understand. Then can VAR not finger that decision or what?
But
I don't think it was turned on again.
Here's the thing with the ruling,
No,
because
serious.
I see. Yeah, they might have forgot to turn it on. I see people talking about because his hands was in the box, it was okay, but his legs was outside of the box. I'm like, I didn't know that was a rule.
I don't think his hands was in the box. I think when he
Nah, his
initially.
hands-
No,
his
there's
hand-
a
when he
picture,
had
his
the
hands were in
ball,
the box,
His
his
hands
hands
were
were
in
in
the
the
box, but
box.
his body was out. His legs and everything was outside.
Yeah,
the
but I
box.
thought that was
I
again.
thought that was it. But then
That might be true actually.
yeah, his
To
hands
do with the hands, but I didn't see from the picture that I saw.
From the picture.
No,
it
so
looked
I-
miles out,
I
like
can
the whole body
clarify,
looked out.
because there was a couple Photoshop
Okay.
pictures rolling around. That's what that is.
Right,
There's a
alright,
couple
okay.
Photoshop pictures.
Yeah,
Literally.
I
one
know, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is
His hands-
live. Check this
live,
right then.
I watched it. His hands were in the box. I can guarantee
Okay.
you that.
I know.
The rest of his body was outside.
But
the
here's
box.
my point.
Yeah.
The ref's not seeing pictures.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you seeing that live, that's a handball.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm.
And then it
saying
should
no.
go to VAR. Do you get what I'm saying? This is what I don't understand.
But they
Oh,
did
okay,
say
fair
VAR did check it, and they said there's nothing to deal with it. But what I didn't like with the live coverage is that they didn't go and show it on the
Yes,
screen.
and
They
that's
didn't
to
even show
me.
it on the
To
screen.
me,
But that's the problem with VAR. They've never
Yeah.
once gone to the
You're
screen
someone
this
who's hated,
season.
even as a Liverpool fan, you've hated VAR from before it was even out. So go on,
Because
Stroke, get it off
the
your
Premier
chest.
League just want to be the Premier League. Yes, I get it's the best league in the world. I fully understand that, but use it exactly how it was used in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Go to the screens. I can guarantee 50% of the decisions that have been given this season and VAR haven't overturned. If you go to the screen, the referee overturns it immediately.
yeah.
It's shocking.
There's no way live he's seen that and he thought that was in the area. I'm not having
No
it.
chance.
That should have
Yeah.
got.
I spotted it from the couch. Yeah,
This is
so
what I'm
he's
saying.
Definitely seen it live.
This would make more
Definitely.
sense.
Yeah.
It would make a lot more sense if he called it. It went to VAR and then VAR shown the pictures and proved it wrong. But the fact that, because then what we're not understanding is, you see when we're getting these pictures, man can freeze frame and all them thing there,
Yeah.
I can freeze frame 2 when he had it in his hand in the box. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If VAR does that live and they play the video,
Yeah.
that's the difference. If they play that little,
That's like I said. That's what I was very surprised about. Normally VAR decisions, they'll put it up on the screen.
Yes.
Whatever you're watching it on, whether it's BBC, Sky, BT,
Yeah.
wherever else, like they'll show it and be like,
and
look,
you're reviewing it and it's like,
but they
ooh.
didn't show no like it's
Yeah.
the way they kept the game going, and I've switched off like, all right, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, VAR, I've checked it.
Yeah,
They just kept it moving.
yeah.
Go on.
But this is the problem though. It's you're taking away all accountability from the referees.
yeah,
Because from a referee's point of view, he sees that, he thinks, oh, I don't know that. VAR will check it and
Yeah.
bail me out of it. That's the problem. And that is the biggest problem with VAR this season is the accountability of referees has completely gone.
yeah.
Now
You've-
everything's on VAR.
the referee, you know how funny it is? The VAR was there to help the referees. Yeah. Now it's almost as if the referees are there to help VAR. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the VAR is the be all and end all. That has the say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas that should be a tool for the refs, but the ref is now a tool for VAR because there's no way. When I seen that, I actually thought, wow, that's like fixing a match. You've thrown a match.
Yeah, but well, you've seen that. So, for example, 2 occasions Liverpool, right? So, number 1, Aston Villa, where you can clearly see them manipulate the line to show that Firmino was offside.
Yes.
That is a joke. Secondly, the one where we played Hughes at home, right, and the whole Trent handball situation. The way they described that situation is shocking. The
Yes.
way they should have described it was, the rules are, if it hits an attacking player's arm first, automatically it's a foul. So therefore, the handball for Trent wasn't one. But we should have brought it back, and we made a mistake. Not, oh, well, I can't remember what the whole thing was, but I had a massive go on here about
Yeah,
it. Because
it's
it's the
not-
shambles, the
Oh,
way
yeah,
they describe it.
You've had some legendary rants on VAR.
'Cause
And as a
it's
Liverpool fan
it's
who's
shocking.
favourite at times, you said this even before. I remember you saying it like even before VAR got introduced. You was like, I don't want it. It's gonna be terrible. We're gonna get wrong decisions. Go on.
Yeah, I think the whole problem with it is, as well, it's how far they take it back. Because some games they're taking it back like 5, 6, 7 moves, and then other games it's just going back one. And it's like we've had times before. Obviously, VAR's gone for and against every team. There's no team that's only had against and no team that's only had for. Do you know what I mean? There are both sides to it. But I just think in the games where we've kind of been robbed by it, it's been like they're taking it way back to rule out a goal. And it's like that had nothing to do with the actual goal. There was about 5 passes before it and it went in. But then other games where, someone's handballed it and then it's bounced off and then it's gone in, they're not taking it back that far to, rule out their goal. So I think it needs to be consistent. It's either you take it back 3 moves or it's done. You can't say one time you take it back 5 moves and the next time you take it back 2. I think it's just inconsistent.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they don't.
No,
it's
they,
true.
no,
There
honestly,
needs
they
to be
don't.
like
They've
a-
no
Go on,
idea.
Strom. I love hearing you talk on this. Go on.
Like someone's got him off. They have no idea what they're doing. Not a clue.
you know
They
why,
don't even know
bro?
how to switch the button on.
Do you know why? It's like they've got a new toy, yeah? And when they open it up, they better no instructions in it. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know how to
Instructions
use
with Swedish.
it. Yeah, you don't know how to use it. Yeah, so when you buy them dodgy things from the
From
market,
IKEA.
and then the instructions are just in like Arabic and then Polish and then every other language except for English. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what to do with it, and I don't think they know. There's no. It's almost like they should have brought out VAR, but then brought out a VAR rule book. Do you get what I'm saying?
Ooh,
And all you man go and learn this. That
Yes.
should have been their homework for the
Yes.
summer.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
go
yeah.
and read this and learn it up.
Yeah.
And then when these situations happen, we put them into play.
Mm.
And then if a situation happens that we've not covered, we then come up with something for that.
Nah, I hear you.
But it's always like there's nothing going forward. It's always seems to be it's like whatever happens at that second we'll go with, and we'll just make sure it makes the right decision that we think. And
Yeah,
boom.
but that's
You know
what I
saying?
mean. No, that's the Premier League because they had the formula with how they use it in the World Cup. But the Premier League, being the Premier League, just wanted to manipulate it, wanted to change it, make it how to the Premier League, to suit the Premier League, to make it better because it's the best league in the world. And in reality, you've completely blown it. It's shocking. I don't want it in the Premier League next season. It's poor. Like, how can you trust anyone at Stockley Park when you can clearly see them on videos manipulate lines to show that someone's offside? Number
How
one.
can you trust anyone that's
Number two, they don't know what they're doing. They've no idea. It's literally, I'm going to turn up today, whatever happens, happens. There's no rule book, there's no, I need to follow this, and this to rule out this goal for this, and this. They don't have a clue.
Nah, you
Anything that's got Martin, whatever his name is.
Is it not mine? What's Andrew? Who's Martin? Wait.
Nah, the old guy who hates Liverpool, anything that's got him in Stockley Park, keep him away from
Oh,
it.
is he?
Because he's the one who manipulated the line to show that Firmino was offside. He should have been sacked immediately for that, by the way.
Send him a ball if he hates you, look. Still,
I hate VAR.
can't
man.
be serious.
I hate VAR.
But nah, all jokes aside, like you said it best, Yannicka, in terms of like that's what I think gets everyone's back up. It's just the inconsistency of it. Like if it was the same rules week in, week out, then we'd understand. But it's like VAR shouldn't be a problem. Like VAR should help like the actual
Yes.
system. Like being able to see things in slow motion and replay stuff and pull stuff back should be easy. But then when you have people who are not capable of using the equipment, that's what causes the issues. Like I've said, VAR is not the problem. The people using VAR is the problem. VAR should make everything easy. Like to me, something as simple as goal line technology. Like that's something I've said. It's either in the net or it's not. They even messed that up. Like how do you mess that
Well,
up?
have you not seen that? Have you seen what Bournemouth have said?
Yeah,
Nah, what
Bournemouth
did
are now
Bournemouth say?
suing.
They're not suing the FA. They're suing Hawkeye, the actual company who made the thing. Because they must have tried and, you know what I mean, sue the... Because remember I said to you, can't they like appeal it?
You did say about it.
You know what I'm saying? I said, can't they appeal it?
What else
and
did
the
we
man
say?
were like, nah, but then they're literally trying to sue the people who made it.
V, what else did we say?
Go to this comment. Yeah, your sister's in the comment. Shout out to
And,
Vanna. She said United had 14 penalties this season. Yeah, because we got 14 fouls. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
man.
United get kicked in the box. A
All
lot,
types
you
of Vano with the salt and that.
know. Yeah, she asked him if I'm correct, Yannicka.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course she should be happy. But it is what? Nah, actually, wouldn't be happy.
That was
being
super
Arsenal
salt.
fan.
That's sea salt. You know what I mean?
That's strong salt.
Yeah, that's
Strong
one,
salt.
Yo, I love salt, sea salt slap.
Yeah, I love that. That's what I mean. I love
Sea salt
sea salt.
slap.
That's that strong salt there, yeah.
That is strong.
That's that sea salt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all types of Vano, yeah.
Yo. Right, I'm gonna try and get to some of these comments. Oh, that comment is rugby. I said it's strong salt. Giroud hold up game is second to none. No matter the defender, you still hold the ball up. Yeah, his hold up play is cold. That's what I'm saying. Farid says Olivier Giroud is one of the best in his role, using him as a backboard, holding the ball and playing the forwards in, etc. B-Tech Karim Benzema. Hey, I'm not feeling this Giroud disrespect, you know. Don't call him a B-Tech anybody, you know. I like to hear that. This is a wild one. Josh says here, did you guys hear the rumor of Cantel's price being 90 million? Yeah, that's paper talk. I don't know what papers you got. Is he are you Canadian? Well, not in Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Canada.
Canada.
He lives
Nah,
in-
it might be, bro, because Josh comes with the facts. Still.
That's true. That
Josh
is
comes
true.
with the facts. But
Wait,
you know how that
who's
is?
got a price
You
tag
know
of
what it is?
90 million?
Todd Cantwell,
You know what that is, though? Do you know what that
T.
means?
Cantwell.
That means
the one who
he's
plays for Norwich with the blonde hair.
that means he's an idiot, because that means he's just basically Norwich's prisoner. Do you know what I'm saying? 'Cause no one's
90.
bidding 90 mil.
Yeah, I don't think he said. I do not think he said
he
that
won't have
price.
said that.
No.
And they
not
just
at
got
all.
relegated. Yeah, that can't.
That's what I'm
How
saying.
are they ever going to pookie 90 million, if anything, out of any of the players? None of them 90 million. It's Norwich, for God's sake.
Yeah, so it's Norwich. It's Norwich. Yo.
Yeah, it's mad that. No, you know what? He's a
Faris says
good
here,
young player, but
Mason
he's not
Mount
like,
is a very good talent. He was held out to dry in that right wing position, similar to how Barcelona's former head coach Valverde played Philip Coutinho at left wing. I hear what you're saying. With
Nah,
that.
Coutinho can play left wing.
Yeah,
Done it.
Coutinho played left wing for us.
He can, but it's not where you get the best out.
No, but he can play left
He
wing
can play
better
that.
than
He's one
he
of
can
them
play
who can
left
do the
wing better than
Mount can play right wing. Yeah, definitely.
Better than Mount can play
Mount's
anywhere.
not actually got anything on the ball to play that
It is.
position.
Oh yeah, Savannah put laughing face, don't hate. That's
Yeah,
cool,
man.
isn't it? Get me?
Jeez.
I'd hate to be you too.
Yeah.
Faris says English referees and assistants do not know how to correctly utilize and take advantage of the fantastic technology VAR. Fans need to stop blaming the technology and blame who are utilizing it.
Yeah,
Alright,
man.
Faris, you with the big words. You tested my knowledge and vocabulary. Jesus.
I know I've never seen
Yeah.
flawless concentrate so much in my
Seriously, I was
life.
concentrating. I'm
Wow,
not wrapping
mate.
up. You know what I'm saying? I can read. Faris says sea salt laughing face, but yeah, that's funny still. But what we'll move on to next is whether we think Aubameyang will stay, and if he does leave, where does he go? So Yannicka, we'll start with you. Do you think Aubameyang will stay at Arsenal?
I don't.
You don't think he'll stay?
Don't.
Okay,
I
why?
don't know.
Go on, why?
I feel like he will want to play Champions League football because he's
He's that
world
good,
class,
isn't it?
you
Yeah.
know, world class even. So yeah, he will want to eventually play Champions League football. I can't remember how old he is, to be honest.
He's 28, 29.
but
I think.
late
He might even be
20s,
30,
innit?
you know?
No, he's 30. Yeah,
Is
so
there-
Is he?
Might
Yeah.
even be
So
30.
definitely he's gonna wanna,
Yeah.
you know, and it just depends if your club can't provide that for you. You know, it's the same with like when there was questions whether we'd be in it and banned for 2 years. You know, the likes of De Bruyne, 29 now. Does he really want to spend 2 years at City with no Champions League football?
Yeah.
So I think in terms of that, he might want to move on. I don't know where he'll go. I'd quite like him at City because, you know,
'Cause
striker-wise, we don't really have, after Aguero goes,
I always
we've
want to
only
ask a
got
City
Gabby.
fan of this. Like, sorry to
Yeah.
cut you off there. What's
Yeah.
your thoughts on Jesus? Because he's someone who divides opinion.
Be honest.
Obviously, you're a season.
Be honest.
Go on.
Be honest, you're a season ticket holder, so you see
I
him
do
week
like
out.
him. I do
Alright.
like him, but I think even with him,
Yeah.
you know, we went from having 4 strikers. We used to have like Aguero,
Yeah.
Balotelli, Dzeko,
Mm.
and some like people that came in and out.
Yeah.
But you know, we used to have 4, and now we have 2. And Aguero can be quite injury prone. Like he
Right.
doesn't always do a whole season.
Yeah,
So
he does get. he's
we're
low
relying
class,
on Gabby, basically.
Right.
You know, and when he's not playing, we have to play like Sterling.
Never
up
heard
front.
him referred to as Gabby. You baffled me for about 5 seconds there, you know. Sorry, go on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
go on.
like, you know, we can't even, as much as I like him,
Yeah.
he can't be the only guy. And Aguero is going to go.
Do you know what it is
inevitably,
as
so-
well?
All right, so I just want to ask you one question then. So say
Yeah.
Aguero left and Pep brought in a backup striker to
Yeah.
Jesus. Would you be happy with Jesus as your number 1, number 9 for a whole season?
Be honest.
Is he one of
You
them?
know what? He gets goals. He
he
does
does
get
get-
goals. So I can't
Yeah.
really fault him for his goals. As
Yeah.
you know, and he does hold the ball up. You know,
Right.
at the end of the game when it's 1-0 and
Yeah.
you want to win, Gabby.
Yeah,
Do you know what
but-
I mean? He
'cause
will.
he does-
He will hold it up.
One
But
thing about him is he does divide opinion.
yeah,
That's why I asked you.
yeah,
I've always wanted to ask
he's
the
one
same.
of them.
Right.
Even across City fans, like some of them
Oh.
love him, some are like he's not good enough. You know, Aguero is so good that it's really hard
Yeah.
to compete with
It's
Aguero,
a
and
high
I think
level,
yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
that comes in is gonna look
Yeah, you're gonna
shitter
anyone.
than they actually are just because Aguero is so good. So, you know, he's irreplaceable. You know, but Aubameyang could do what we need, and under Pep, you
That's
know,
true. That's
You know what it
I
is
would-
with
I'd
Pep
take
though?
him.
Yeah, go on.
If you clock Pep's play, this is Pep throughout his career. He doesn't really like centre forwards. He doesn't utilize centre. He's not one to have 3 or 4 centre forwards. He will
Yeah.
always have like a Fabregas who he can play up front
Yeah.
in a false 9 and
A Sterling.
a Sterling, and you know what I mean. He's the one who brought Messi into
Yeah.
the middle, and do you get what I mean?
The only real number 9 he's had is Lewandowski. It's the only one.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like-
So, all right. So, go on then, JV. You reckon Aubameyang will stay?
Nah,
Okay.
for me, he's gone.
All right. If he'll leave, so why do you think he'll leave Champions
Same
League?
factors, age, competition wise.
Where do you see him going? What clubs?
He can go to if he says he's leaving there, if he comes out now and says he's leaving there, he can go wherever he wants.
So, you Barcelona, you Real Madrid.
You Barcelona's you.
What
Right
about
then.
Premier League?
Huh?
What about Premier League? Say
Um,
Liverpool.
It depends. All right, then. Do you know why I would say no to Premier League?
Yeah, why?
Probably because he's not going to start at. He's not going to start at Liverpool.
I think he starts at Liverpool.
What, with the same Werner situation that we're saying? When
Yeah,
we move?
literally, you drop
Well,
Firmino,
he
you drop
could.
Firmino into the 10 and
he-
play Aubameyang.
He could do, but then it comes into wages. I don't know if Liverpool would pay what he wants, type of thing.
Because that's the whole good point. That's the whole problem with the Werner deal. We're not going to pay £200,000 for you to sit on our bench because you'll be one of the highest paid players. We're not going to do that. Like, it's not going to happen.
Like, I would have said, you know what? I could, maybe before Chelsea started buying up, man, maybe Chelsea. I would have said.
I could
Chelsea
see him at
was
City.
rumoured
I could see him at City.
Because
City makes sense.
you have that whole crazy Arsenal-Chelsea thing, don't you?
Where they just trade players.
Yeah, you have that crazy thing where, like, they're kind of like, it's reminiscent of a Serie A where you just play, you can play for it in the mount. Yeah, you can play for AC, you can play for Juventus, you can play for Lazio, you can play for Roma, and no one really bats an eyelid. So, for me, you know where he screams out for me?
Go on.
He screams out Barcelona.
Yes, someone said that in the comments.
Because of what they've tried to do with Griezmann is exactly what he does naturally. Do you get what I'm saying? So what they've tried to do with Griezmann, where you drift out to the wide, is exactly what Aubameyang does.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So
I could definitely see, like, most places, like someone said, Malcolm Mayer says, we'll go to you in a straw in a sec. I want to get your thoughts on it. Said Aubameyang to United. Personally, I don't want to see him at United. Not because I don't think he's good enough, just the fact that we don't need a striker.
not that we don't need a striker. We don't need to disrupt
we don't need a
what we've got going on. If we do, it needs to be a backup. Do you know what I mean? We don't need someone who's going to disrupt.
Yeah.
There's other areas which United would
definitely over areas.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's not good enough for United. Of course he is. He's a top level striker.
Yes.
And I honestly believe they have missed a trick by not getting rid of Ozil. Because I think that is something which is stopping them from keeping Aubameyang. You get what I mean? If they get Ozil off the books, they can offer Aubameyang what he wants.
Yeah.
If Aubameyang is on less money than Ozil, that's a travesty. That is
He
disgraceful.
probably is as well.
You get what
But the
I'm
thing
saying?
is, when it comes to the new contract negotiations, he's gonna ask like, "This guy don't even play. This
Yeah.
guy don't even make the squad, and I'm your star man."
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want double what he's on.
Well, that's probably why he's not signed.
Yes.
That is probably the prime reason he's not signed.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, and you know what it is as well. If you really deep it, let's see the teams where he's been. So before that, he was at Dortmund. That Dortmund team, what he was at, is better than this Arsenal team now.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He probably feels the same. He probably feels at Arsenal how he did at Saint Etienne. You're the main man. Everything is on you. Do you get what I mean? There's no.
There's very little assistance and help.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got
Like,
your Sakas, your Lacazette, sitting maybe from Pepe, and then that like everyone's looking to you. Like if you play well, yeah, great. If you play bad, like you get it.
yeah, if he plays, if Aubameyang has a look, see it. If Aubameyang has a bad game on thingy, they don't win. They don't score.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
get what I'm
So,
saying?
Stro, what do you reckon? He'll stay or he'll leave?
I thought he was going, and then I seen Arteta's interview, and he seems overly confident.
I didn't see Arteta's interview. What did he say?
So they just asked him, he said, what about Aubameyang? Is he going to be here for next season? He's like, I've spoke to him. I'm confident he's here next season. But the way he said it and his manner, like, you know, like when you see managers and they're uncomfortable in the situation and you can tell that they're just saying it for the sake of it. He didn't seem like he was just saying it for the sake of it. He genuinely believes he's going to be there next season. And that's the only thing where it casted a shadow in my doubt, where I was like, actually, I can see them doing something where, listen, they need him.
If somebody could sell Arsenal to him and a project, I do believe it's Arteta. I said this when Arteta jumped in. Like, obviously, when he was linked, I was laughing like this is typical banter. But then when he got in there, I was like, if you give him the players, obviously I've spoke about it on the show.
But you can see
previous
what he's
shows.
done.
Yes, like he had an influence on the team already. Like Xhaka, who I don't rate at all. I think Xhaka, I don't rate him at all. He's got a tune out of him.
He
Like,
was
Xhaka
phenomenal
well
in the final, by the way.
because Xhaka doesn't have. He's not individually great, but if you put the right system, and this is why systems and things of that nature are important, because then you get the best out of them type of
do you
players.
know why though?
He's an average player, but he's getting above average performances out of him.
Do you know why he can get the exactly what he wants out of someone like a Xhaka?
Why? Because he used to be a Xhaka-esque player.
Not a Xhaka-esque. He had more about him, but
Yeah,
similar
yeah,
position,
yeah.
same position, innit?
Right.
That's what it is. He was a centre midfielder.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes drop back as he got older, drop
Yeah.
back,
Arteta
defensive
could play
type.
still.
That's
He's
what I'm
decent.
saying. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, he
not
can
doubting.
Yeah.
Arteta is a player.
He's a level
You have to
above
remember
Xhaka.
Arteta come out through the La Masia. You get me?
Yeah.
You have to remember that. So anyone who really comes through there, you've got something about you. If you qualify from there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, innit?
You've got something about you.
Oh, shout out my boy JG in the comments. King of the Hill TV. Make sure you go subscribe. He said, "Oba is better than all United strikers."
No one
With
ever said he
smiley face.
wasn't.
Nah, you need to chill with that.
No.
I'm taking Martial over everyone. Probably
No,
Bar Aguero, to be
I'm-
honest.
I'm
Like,
s- I'm-
relax.
I'm not saying he's not better.
Yeah.
No one. If you listen to what I said, I didn't say he's not better. I just said I don't want to disturb what we've got because them players have already gelled. They've got what their thing going.
JG was a good Arsenal fan in it, so we always trolling each other. That's why he's just trying to troll.
Yeah,
but
Arsenal
JG
fans,
actually, we need to have a camera. We need to get you in the studio. Actually, you need to come on the show still. Tell says Ollie's at the wheel, Sancho, and then he put Arsenal, but he put an 8 instead of the 8. Don't matter. Yeah, facts. Stefan says Aubameyang should go Juve before they take Zapata from Atlanta. I could see Aubameyang literally has. Aubameyang, if you look at it like in terms of European teams, he pretty much has the pick because everybody's trying to rebuild and go again.
Yeah, and he's already been at Milan. So he come from Milan.
PSG.
Yeah.
PSG is a shout. PSG is a goodie still. Tell says 8th. Arteta got them to 8th. This is the thing though, even though people say, yeah, it's funny for banter, and it's like, yeah, I'm a retweet and laugh on social media and stuff, but it's not like he had them for the whole season. And they are a poor outfit as well. Like, let's not get it mistaken, Arsenal.
Oh, I've already been through this.
When people are like, Arsenal, he finished 8th with them. Like, that team is not that good. That team is like, if he finished 6th, it's like, he probably where you should be. Bear in mind, he didn't have them for the full season. They had Emery, then they had Ljungberg, and then him. Like you said, players and people get Arsenal when they go there.
Imagine being a Tottenham fan.
But here's the thing with that. You've got a team there, yeah, which we're supposed to believe is a top team. If you want that title as a top team, you have to operate as a top team. United haven't operated as a top team. We've been in, do you know how many days we spent in the top 4 this season?
Was it like 33?
22.
So we didn't even spend we didn't even spend a short month.
Exactly.
We didn't even spend a
and
short
we
month.
finished in there. So I don't want to hear no excuse. To me, it's excuses. All the Arsenal stuff is excuses simply because if you deep it, no matter who their manager is, the team is not good enough.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No matter what manager you give them right now, that team is not good enough. That club, and this is the point I want to make, that club, yeah, is at the moment, and I said this to an Arsenal fan, and they got quite upset with me, but FA Cup is the best.
Wait, that's Arsenal fans for you.
No, but I'm saying FA Cup is the best trophy they're going to win for the next 5 years.
Ooh.
That's the biggest, that's the most they can expect from that club. That's why I'm saying if Aubameyang wants to be, Aubameyang right now, he could set something here. He could be remembered as a great for his time in football. I'm not saying an all-time great. I'm going to say a great for those years he was playing. Yeah. He could go to a Serie A in the Juventus or a Spain or I don't know, even a Bayern Munich. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? He could go wherever he wants now, even France, PSG, whatever, and he could win some trophies because if you look at it, do you know how many goals he scored? I think it's 25 goals every season. Yeah. If you for 5 seasons, for 5 years straight, that is trophy winning. That's serial trophy winner goals, and he's not actually been able to get that. If he does, I'm telling you now, if he does 25 goals 5 years straight at City,
pick a club.
Yeah, 25 goals 5 years straight at Barcelona, at whoever, he's probably winning at least the Champions League in that time. He's winning league titles.
Yeah, minimum of a couple.
The minimum of what he would have won. Yeah. At any of those clubs is probably 2 or 3 FA Cups.
That's a great point.
You know what I mean? 25 goals in 5 years.
Yeah,
come on, man. You're winning Champions Leagues.
And the thing is that Arsenal is not even like he's getting the best service possible.
Yes.
Oh, he's getting poor service.
Like he's not
poor service.
Like really, who have they got service-wise? It's just that. It's that Saka.
72 million.
If he was at City, De Bruyne's putting it on a plate for him. Exactly. The amount of goals that we miss, the amount of chances that we missed that should have been goals, I think even I could score from De Bruyne.
That's what I'm saying,
man. Puts it on a plate. So.
Who's he got in that midfield? Their midfield is
like it's Ceballos,
shocking.
Xhaka, Guendouzi. Who else did he play? Willock.
Bro, you've just named all centre mids. It's mad. There's no like flair or.
There's no je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, no, even Ceballos.
How them man not got the je ne sais quoi? That come from you, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying. Like even Ceballos though, dead for Spanish, bro. Dead, awful.
Man's a dead Spanish. How can you be a dead Spanish midfielder?
Is he a bargain?
He's on bargain.
Nah, he's a sell soon Spanish player or something. Sell.
Dual nationality, he might be Brazilian. You know,
he's a super sales Spanish player. super sale. You know what I'm saying? You need to get rid.
He got Arsenal quick.
Because for me, if you really deep it, all right then. Other than obviously Ozil's not there. Well, he is there, but he's not. He's not playing.
Yo, he at home playing for it.
That's what I'm
Nah,
saying.
he's chilling with his
So
umbrella.
Saka, everyone's raving about how good Saka is. Saka is an excellent player, but I'm telling you now, no other top team would put that responsibility on someone so young. Someone tried telling me the other day, look how many positions he's played in his quality. I said, he's played in that many positions because the rest of your squad is poor.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
He's better in probably most of them positions than the other options.
Exactly. That shows how bad your team is because that's his, what? Is this not his debut season? Where he's played over a good amount of games.
Like, he could probably play centre-back better than David Luiz.
Nah, seriously.
He could probably play centre-back better than that. He's definitely their best left-back. He's their best wing back.
He's the best winger.
You could argue he's the best winger.
Nah, he's the best winger. Look at the goals and the outlay.
He's probably
goals
the
and
best
assists.
number 10 they have.
Exactly.
Well.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And this guy we talking about is a kid.
He's a kid, bro. He's
literally a
18.
kid playing 6 different positions.
Exactly.
And he's the best of them all.
And that's poor that he has to be given that responsibility at that age in your first season. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I fully get what you're saying because I'm staying there.
I've not seen Greenwood start up front, right wing, left wing, number 10,
centre mid,
number 10. You know what I'm saying? Centre mid,
left
back, wing back. You know what I'm saying?
In that.
It's mad. Like, you've literally changed the man's position to suit the team because the rest of the players aren't good enough. Those players should be disgusted. If I was any of these players, and it's like, well, today Saka's a left wing back today. If I'm Kolasinac, I'd be like, what go on, fam? I'm saying, like, I've done like 10 years career in this position. You know what I'm saying? 10 years of my career in this position. This youth comes along, boom. You know what I'm saying?
He's in ahead of me. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's mad.
Yeah, because Faris says here, Stefan said, Arteta made David Luiz look good. Respect the guy. He did have him at different points. Faris says, Arteta is certainly a good coach because as soon as he was appointed as Arsenal head coach, there was a massive difference in how the team played and set up. Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know because they had that bounce with Finger.
Nah,
they had that.
You did say it was a bounce, but what I'm talking about is in terms of like style, like Arsenal playing at the goal they scored against City. Was it the second one? I think it was the second one where they played it out from the back. I'm like, I've not seen, like under Emery, that wasn't there.
Do you know why? And this is the one thing with Arteta which I think
you can see. What I like about him is that you can see his imprint on the team.
Yes,
that's one of like my biggest issues I've said about Oli is like.
But do you know why I think this comes from?
And there's no imprint on the team whatsoever.
Do you know where I think this comes from?
Go on.
This comes from him actually playing with some of these players.
That probably helps.
Of course, imagine. So you play for a team now, yeah?
Yeah.
Imagine now, you've played with this team for how long? Say 5 years or so, yeah? Imagine you become their manager now.
What's ironic is that
you know how my man plays and my man plays and my man plays, so then you can link their plays.
What's ironic is the team I play for, my manager now we used to play on that team together.
Exactly.
And obviously he retired and became the manager on that.
So then he will know. You understand what I'm saying?
He thoroughly knows. Yeah,
he knows exactly.
That's what I'm like with my team because I play with him. I know exactly how.
You know exactly what certain man's gonna do. You know the best position to play my man. You know what foot he's gonna take it on. You know what type of pass he needs into him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you know stuff what you can't pick up from watching on telly or watching some training videos.
Yeah.
You know, integral stuff. So he's played alongside, not just with, alongside, and even more recently, probably against some of these players if they weren't on his team. That's different from an Emery, who's not got a clue to how these players need to be set up or how they're going to work as a team. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because Faris says there, you could notice a clear system. They play the same style of football in every game. Yeah. Arteta just lacks players to implement and play his designated system. All right, Faris, man, you're showing off the vocab, but I agree with what you're saying. Malcolm says, is there a possibility Arsenal will get relegated next season? As much as I'd love to see it, no. I mean, it won't happen.
You know one thing?
It won't happen.
You know one thing, though? I say I worry for them genuinely because they're going to have to... Right, so let me put it to you like this. United will probably spend about, let's say around 200. Everyone's probably going to spend about 200 million.
All right, let's say for instance.
Roundabouts. Yeah. Arsenal ain't got 200 million.
Oh, yeah, use lot. Yeah.
No, but...
Everyone who's chasing them, look.
Yes,
the
chasing pack.
The chasing pack, yeah.
Arsenal are not going to spend 200 million. And even if they did, would the recruitment be good enough?
Nope. Here's the thing with Arsenal. They still, even though I don't think like they're miles away from challenging for major trophies, but they'll always be able to get an Aubameyang, an Ozil, and Lacazette, someone of that.
You know why?
Will crazy.
London?
They're still a sell.
Nah, it's not
As much
even
as
a
that
London.
pains me to admit it, they are like Arsenal still are a sell.
As much as these man are this Wenger, yeah?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, him.
no Wenger, no Aubameyang. You understand? These man wanted this man out so much. Without him, you're getting players off the back of the Wenger years. Because man ain't coming for the
for the Emery years.
You're not coming for the Emery years, bro. You know what I mean? You're not coming for the Youngberg months. You know what I'm saying? You're coming for that prime Arsenal invincible era. Do you get what I'm saying? No one's got. You know what I'm saying? No, it's true, bro.
This is where you said the Youngberg month.
Yeah, the Youngberg months. It was
Ooh, that
months.
tickled me,
No
that.
one's coming. You're not coming to Arsenal for that. You're coming for the Wenger. And as much as they wanted to get rid of Wenger,
Wenger had to go, but I get
nah.
what
But
you're
do you know
saying.
what? They probably should have done with my man.
Yeah.
Give him a chair upstairs, man. Give him a seat upstairs.
Maybe.
Fergie-esque.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Savannah says Arteta has done well so far, considering he definitely needs to utilize the transfer window. As much as it pains me to admit, I agree with you. Like, that's what I think. I think he's done well, and if he is backed in the transfer market, they could be a problem. I do hope I'm wrong, but I can see it. I can see them being an issue, definitely. Look at how Mikel Arteta converted Saka to a left back by coaching and guiding him on how to play that position and role. I think Arteta is a far better coach than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't think there's anything to dispute.
You know what it
with
is,
that.
right? No. Let's put it like this, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Nah, people have got to think about it logically, yeah. Who's one of the greatest managers of the modern day era?
Yeah, it's Fergie, isn't it?
Yeah, but then what I'm saying is, Solskjaer wasn't working right under Fergie
Yeah, fact.
every day in and day out. You get what I'm saying? My man's been working with Pep for
All right, we'll get on to that.
years. Do you get what I'm
Obviously-
saying? So he's learned, and he's learned a lot. You can see that he's learned a lot, and I mean really a lot from Pep. Yeah, that's the difference,
I
and
know
it's
what
still
you're saying.
fresh in his mind.
Yeah,
Man's
that's
only just come now, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's still probably he's probably using some tactics. Yeah, he's probably using similar tactics at Arsenal, which Pep has probably implemented this season
Yeah,
at City.
definitely.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So Yannicka, when
Yeah, I was
Arteta
gonna
left,
say
I was
that.
gonna say, like, were you like disappointed that he left? Like, it would be a big hit, or did you not really think he had an influence like that?
No, you can see, 'cause I go to games. I used to sit right near Pep,
Yeah.
and you can see Arteta is like telling him almost, and he's like directing. You know, before they go on the pitch, he's
Yeah.
the one with the tablet saying, "Do this, do that." So
Oh, right, I didn't notice.
he is.
That's what we
He
said.
is a lot. You know what Pep was doing. A lot of that. The thing is with Pep, he kind of like the way he operates is that everyone around him is gonna learn something, and that's how he is. So with Arteta, even if he just went there, even not in his position, even if he was just around, he would have learnt stuff from Pep. So the fact that he's right under him, they're training every day. You know, I think that's how they beat City, because they
Yes.
know them players. They know
Yes.
exactly what De Bruyne is gonna do. They know exactly what Pep's gonna do. He could almost read Pep's mind, because he knows what Pep's gonna do. Oh, the last time City were 1-0 down, what did they do? Oh, Pep did this. Okay, well, I'm
Yeah, he
gonna
knows
change my
everything.
system so that, you know, we can catch. I think as a City fan that watches City every week, I would know how to beat City almost if I was a manager, because I know what our
Yeah.
weaknesses
All right,
are.
talk up the things.
So
then.
he
All
knows
right.
our weaknesses, you know, better than probably anyone, you know. So I think things like that, they have helped him, you know, and he's going to take that onto Arsenal. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he does become a top manager, because, you know, Pep, I think years ago, Pep and Mourinho even used to kind of work together a little bit. So there's a lot of managers that have kind of worked with Pep, and they all say the same thing,
Yeah.
you know, and Pep credits Cruyff for what he
Yes,
does.
thank
So
you.
it's like these managers, they do inspire each
It's
other.
a
And
long
I
lineage.
think, yeah. And I think because he's worked so closely with Pep, it would be a surprise if he wasn't a good manager to me.
And more to
you
the
know.
point, good point about the Cruyff thing, but you look at Pep's style of play, that's influenced by Bielsa, at least.
Yes, it's
Yeah, yeah.
all these
all linked
managers tie in. Do you know what I'm saying? With your Cruyff went and took the Dutch thing to the Barcelona, and then Barcelona had their own little thing, and that got married up. And you know what I'm saying? Everything is like a fusion. You have to remember Bobby Robson was there. Bobby Robson had Pep as a player. He had Mourinho as
Yeah, 'cause
his.
Mourinho was there when
as
Bob
the
Robson
translator.
was
They were
there.
there
That's
That's what they
Yeah.
call him, the
They
translator,
call him
innit?
the translator.
Yeah.
Hella
Do
disrespectful.
you know what I'm saying? So you have to remember, it's a lot. And once again, it goes back to the whole La Masia Barcelona Academy type thing, where it's a learning thing, and that's and this is one thing I get out. That's the difference between coaching over here
Yeah.
and coaching abroad. When you're coaching abroad, you're learning off the best. This is how they. It's no coincidence that there's Italian football. There's no coincidence there's German football. There's no coincidence there's Spanish football. It's been taught. It's been passed down. What can you pass down from English football?
Yo, get out wide, get in
Yeah,
the box.
get in the box.
Get in the mixer.
Get on his head.
Sam
You know what I'm
Allardyce.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Get it in the
Get on his head. You know what I'm saying?
Sean Dyche, Burnley.
Yeah,
prime
exactly,
example.
bro. Do you
Get
understand
it in
what I'm
the
saying?
box, yo.
Get in the box, whip it in. That's what it is, you know.
Andy Carroll
If
on
it's
the
not
end of
whipped,
it.
it's a dead cross. You get what I'm saying? If it's not, it's got to be whipped. You get what I'm saying?
They really say whip it in.
Not
Whip it in.
floated, whip.
Get
whip
me.
it in.
Get you noggin on it. Yeah, that dead coaching, fam. You get what I'm
That's
saying?
literally what it is. Get it out wide, take a touch and cross
Because
it.
think about it. All those coaches I've just said now. If you look at all right then, name me a top Italian coach. Someone like Ancelotti.
Sorry, that's tickled me.
Ancelotti played under Capello in his prime, and he was under. You know what I'm saying? And Capello was under this man, and then so that's been passed down. It's like a manager, like a manager family tree.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Same with
manager
the
family tree.
same with the Dutch one,
Yeah.
the Renus Michaels and all them. And then Cruyff, and then he's then emigrated to Barca,
And
and
then
then
you've got the Ronald Koemans and people
yes,
like that.
boom boom. So then there's their family tree and that, and then the Germans are just German. I think that's like in the blood and that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think that's taught. You know what I'm saying? That's just them. That's
They're just a machine.
on
Like,
a
it's
serious
very-
note, that's put into them, I think,
Yeah.
from like a kid. Do you get what I'm saying? The efficiency, the thinking of how to do everything. There you can see with the German football, it's more thinking, it's football brain.
Yeah.
Look at someone like a Thomas Muller. Thomas Muller does not make it in any other country because they'll probably say, "What do you do?"
Yeah, you're not quick.
Yeah.
You're not strong.
Yes.
So it's like, what can you do?
You're not ticking boxes, whereas the Germans are like, "Oh, but he does this very well."
Yeah.
And it's like, even I've said this before on the show, the guy who made FIFA, do you know what he said?
Yeah.
He said, when we made Thomas Muller, we had to like make him artificially better on the game because when we put in like the stats what you think he should have, like no pace,
Yeah, no
no
pace.
this, no that. He said he was rubbish.
Yeah, which
You
is
get what I mean?
facts.
They had to like make him artificially better
Yeah.
because if you actually watch his game, it's not stuff you can just implement.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
on,
stuff
on,
like
a, on a FIFA game, you can't really implement in terms of like mental side. Of things.
yes,
So being an anticipation,
yes,
like Muller's always seems to be in the right place,
right place at the right time.
and knows the correct shot to
Yeah.
take.
Yes,
Yeah, like,
exactly the
and
right shot.
He knows that, and winning clever fouls and things of
Yes.
that nature.
Do you get what I'm
And just
saying?
very intelligent.
Do you know he finished with the top assists?
What, in Germany?
Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not know
There
that.
you go. See, this is one thing I don't like about modern day football.
Yeah, go on.
That should be front page news, but it doesn't fit any narrative, does it?
Yeah, because it's Thomas Muller. He's not really
Because
he don't really have the name
The one who's under him,
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
who's under him?
De Bruyne.
Messi.
Ah,
So Messi. You know what the thing was?
Yeah.
Messi still got 20 plus. They won't tell you that thing he got more. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because that's one thing, and this is getting back to the point of like gone off on a bit of a side note. But what I'm saying is, everything is coached. So this brings me back to the whole Arteta thing, where he's been coached. Here's how mad it is. This isn't the first time he would have been with Pep. He would have been in that academy. Pep would have probably been in the first team, and he's playing him as a kid.
Mm,
Do you understand?
yeah.
When you're making your debut and Pep's that man in that your position
Yeah.
at Barcelona, this ain't the first time he's come across him. So there would have been little things from them he's picked
These
up.
men have known each other like
Yeah.
a footballing lifetime.
Yeah,
Type of thing.
it's like I've seen a picture the other day and Pep was giving like a 14-year-old Iniesta a trophy or something at
Yeah.
Barcelona, and it's like mad. Do you get what I'm saying?
I
Like
get what you're saying.
that doesn't happen over here. And I've said this again before. You don't get
Yeah.
why is Alan Shearer not teaching the
We've said
young
this on the show
strikers?
when we're talking
You know what
about
I'm saying?
England, like why is the Alan Shearers and Andy Cole's
Yes.
not in the England coaching cell
Yes.
and plays that? Why is Ashley Cole not teaching left backs?
Yes.
Mm.
Why
Like-
why is Beckham not
Yeah.
teaching these kids? If you want man to whip it, why is Beckham not there at St. George's every day teaching 8-year-olds to whip it?
Yeah, that's true.
Because
He
I
should
tell
be.
you, if he was German,
Yeah.
And how's it take
Spanish,
free kick?
Italian,
they would have had him in
he's
there.
there whipping it.
Yeah.
Look at
You know what I'm
Maldini.
saying?
Is Maldini? I don't even know. Is he coaching? I don't even know.
Ma-
what he's
Maldini
coaching.
was coaching at AC Milan, and look who came through. His son.
And then
And
guess
he's,
who?
and he's the next big
And then
thing.
guess who Maldini came through under? His dad,
Yeah. So it's really bad.
Dad. son, dad. You know what I'm saying? Son and then grandson.
Good,
Come
yeah.
on, bro.
And then the thing is, if the grandson has the kid, he's just gonna keep going as well.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
that ain't happening over here. Look at Romeo. Look at Romeo Beckham, fam. Man's modelling. Man's wearing doing Armani adverts.
Look at Brooklyn.
You know what I'm saying? It's not. You understand where I'm coming from? On a serious note, that is the difference
Yeah, I get
in
what you're
levels between English. Why do you think we have the English Premier League? Yeah, and
It's filled with foreigners.
it's filled with foreign managers. Not even players.
Do you see
Managers.
That's the thing is what I don't get because I never go on when people are like, oh, this league's better than that league. I don't care. Like, I really not fussed about if the Premier League is better than the Serie A or La Liga or wherever else. And then people hold on to that. And I was like, I'd understand if he was holding on to that. If it was filled with English players, we watch the Premier League for the foreigners. Like, let's go, yes,
Bro,
there is the odd English player who, obviously, a Rashford, a Greenwood. But, like, they're few and far between. You're watching for a De Bruyne, a Pogba, a Mane, like, a Van Dijk. Like, a Salah, like, this is what I'm saying, and you could keep going. Like, if you do a Premier League best 11, how many English players get in there?
Probably one or two.
That's what I'm saying. And that's a push. You could argue the other way.
Probably, yeah, it'd probably be Trent and Sterling, bro.
Yeah.
No, is it on the level?
Sure,
Nah, it
sure.
was-
It's probably
Nah, it
Trent and Sterling.
Probably Trent.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Yeah.
probably
Maybe
those
at a
two.
push of Rashford. You know what I'm saying? At
That's
a
what I'm saying,
push.
but you have to push.
Probably on the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Probably have to
You
say,
have to
oh yeah, you have to include the bench just to fit more
I'm
money.
not gonna lie, them man would have to get honourable mentions.
Yes,
A
do
lot
you get
of
what I'm
them,
saying?
Yeah.
And then this is but that's the
Go
whole
on.
thing.
Last
That-
point on it, we'll move on.
yeah,
go on, go on.
that's just the whole thing. What I'm saying is, it's the difference. You know what I mean? You go watch Serie A. What's the manager? Gianluca Pipetti. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go over to Spain. Jose Maria. You know what I'm saying? Man, go Germany. Blishman, Nishman. You know what I'm saying? The name is native to that country.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
80% of the managers are from that country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Portuguese league, Holland,
It's the same.
however deep you want it, you can't go to any other league and the managers are dominated by another nationality. It doesn't happen.
Ooh, that's an
This is
excellent point now.
this is the only league. This is the only league.
It's literally the only league where you come and you're getting Italian man.
Bro, even MLS,
Portuguese.
even in MLS, bro. The
Isn't
man
it?
are American.
Yeah.
Bob Hope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jared Grant. You know what I'm saying? man are not. You all right then? Are you telling me why is Sam Allardyce not managing right now in the MLS?
Yeah, that's true. They ain't looking to take Sam.
Nah, but
Yeah.
do you get what I'm saying though?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
He's one of the if
That's
we
a
say
Jared Grant.
if we say actual English managers,
Yeah.
he would pop out. He's been the England manager.
Yeah.
But
I do
he
rate
can't-
Sam.
No, but I do. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is he wouldn't get a job abroad, would he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you get where I'm coming
Yeah,
from?
yeah, like Roma are not hiring him.
Yes, but if I
Right.
tell you the top Italian manager is one of the top 5 Italian managers is available, he's getting a job somewhere if he wants it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm
that's true.
saying?
That's true.
There you go.
I know what you're saying. But yeah, Malcolm here says, do you always have to become a former soccer player to become manager? I'm guessing because you called it soccer, you're American, Malcolm. Am I right?
Soccer.
Yeah, you called it soccer. but now
Jose
you-
Mourinho wasn't
Yeah, that's
a
what I'm
big.
saying.
He did play, but he
You don't-
wasn't. He
Yeah,
wasn't
you don't have to be.
successful.
No, you don't.
I think it helps though. It helps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's who you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that
think
adds in.
even if your granddad was a footballer,
Yes,
you
that
know,
helps.
it wouldn't actually have to be you, but I think it is who you know rather
It
than.
helps. Plus, it's expensive as well. Like them
Yeah.
UEFA A and B licenses.
Don't
Like, that's
get-
it's a
don't
lot of
even
money.
Get me started.
It's a lot. It's
Like,
a lot.
I've
of
done
money.
my FA badges and like to do my UEFA badges, we're talking bags, thousands.
Bags.
I ain't got
Like,
20 grand,
that's what I'm saying.
so just drop on a
Yeah.
You got
UEFA
kids
badge.
to feed. Like,
That's
you know
what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. JG says, is Ole Gunnar the man to win is Ole Gunnar the man to win United the title? No. Like, straight away. No, he's not in the slightest.
And I
know why
don't
you ask me
think
questions.
I don't think there's
You know what?
I think 90% of the United fan base will tell
I think the
will-
Oli Brigade believe it, but he won't say it.
what that he is the man.
Yes, the Oli Brigade are scared. They're a scared bunch. I'm saying this now. They're a scared bunch because when he finished third, because you've been very vocal about not being a fan of him, you see it. People coming out, oh, see, I always I
Yeah,
told you
but
Oli was the like
do you
you
know
were
why?
saying that when we were 2 points above
But
the relegation zone.
here's the thing. That's because me and you are honest.
True.
So we're honest, and anyone else. It's not that we're honest. So, you know what? There's people who actually genuinely believe that Ollie is the man, and
Yes.
they're being honest.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are just bandwagoners.
I think people are bandwagons, and I think people are doing it because they see an attack on the Manchester United manager as an attack on Manchester United, which is not the case. Like, people can't separate the two. You get what I'm saying? I don't understand why people can't separate the two. Like, if you genuinely a fan of something, or if you love something, you are gonna, if you see that thing going wrong, like me and you are done. If I see you doing something messed up, I'm gonna tell you. That doesn't mean I don't have no love for you. I
Yes.
don't care about you. But
Yes.
that's how the Ollie Brigade see it. Like, oh, you criticizing Ollie, you ain't a true fan.
Ah,
No,
but-
I just don't believe he's the guy to take Manchester United back to the top.
Yeah.
Which
But
At
here's
the
the
moment
thing.
in time, I've been proven right, but go on.
Here's the thing with them Ollie and Brigaders and that. What they're not deep in is them same man would probably tell you that they don't like the Glazers. But then the Glazers are an integral part of the club. So if you don't like the Glazers, you don't like Manchester United.
And these are the
Do you
same
know what I'm
man that
saying?
will tell you, oh, Pogba's no good.
Yeah.
He don't want to be here. We'll criticize him, boo him, give him abuse on social media. So what's the difference? You
Like
know
I
what I'm
seen
saying?
someone make a team for next season, yeah.
Mhm.
And they threw in Sancho, you know what I mean, who they want, and then they threw in, you know, like players who we want.
Yeah.
And then I looked at centre mid, and it was McTominay, and I was like, "Where's Pogba?" He's like, "Oh yeah, he's going." I'm like, "Sorry, where did you see this?" Like, well, because you don't like him, he's going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
You know what
like
I'm saying?
that's just a mad narrative.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, how can you honestly sit there, say this is going to be our team in the next season, put fire emojis, and McTominay starting? Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm saying because McTominay has that because he's homegrown. And we do have biases to people. Obviously, being from Manchester as well, you're going to have biases towards certain Manchester. I'm biased towards academy players because they came through the academy.
Yeah.
They're Manchester born and bred, but you have to draw the line somewhere. Do I like McTominay? Yes. Do I believe he's a well-beer? Absolutely not. Should he be anywhere, a United first team, going somewhere? No. Can he be an effective squad player? 1,000%. He's
Yes.
Darren Fletcher. I've said
He
this.
could. This I've always said this. Yes,
Darren
but
Fletcher.
You know what? You know what? For me, what McTominay is.
Mm.
McTominay is that man when we get to a Champions League quarter-final or something, and we go, right, today I need you to do a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just follow this man around all day like you got him on a leash, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
He'll do a job. Yeah.
Like a Herrera-esque
Like
type
he did
of.
to Hazard.
Yes, you know what I mean. That's what he is. You don't need to do that every match of the season, do you?
No.
So then he doesn't need to start every match. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Definitely should start. But all right, we'll switch gears and move on because we spoke about him actually briefly last week when we spoke on Eddie Howe, and we were saying if he left, and then obviously he's left by mutual consent. So Stro, we'll go to you. Are you a fan of Eddie Howe? Firstly, and that's the first question. And secondly, where do you see him getting a job next?
No, I'm definitely a fan.
Okay.
Look at where Bournemouth were when he took over. Like what? Bottom, League 2. He's kept him. Not only that, he did a great job at Burnley when he left, went back to Bournemouth, kept him in the Premier League for a number of years, but he was always overachieving at Bournemouth. Listen, Eddie Howe is a much bigger manager than Bournemouth, and he deserves to be a much bigger manager than Bournemouth. He's one of them where you look at it and you think, 2 seasons ago you were linked with the Arsenal job.
Yeah.
True that.
You should have gone. And I feel sorry for him because he never should have stayed at Bournemouth for that long. And it'll be disappointing for a manager who is English, who is British, who has got really good talent, and he plays some great football, to see him in the Championship. I want to see him in a Premier League team. I want him back in the Premier League because he's a good manager, and you can see that. But yeah, like it's one of them. I don't think Bournemouth will come back up for the next 20 years.
That, maybe not 20 years, but they've done themselves by getting rid of him. They've done themselves because I'll put it to you like this: who's coming up now? Leeds, West Brom. Is it West? No, sorry. Is it West Brom?
Yeah, Leeds, West Brom, and then you got Brentford and Fulham in the.
Brentford are very well backed as well.
Brentford,
very well
Brentford.
backed.
I'm gonna take it back to the 2000s. Brentford are heavy, fam. Brentford, I like Brentford.
I said heavy.
That Ben Rama, you there? Oh, he's quality. They are a dangerous proposition because they have a very good playing style. It's very attacking. But back to my point is,
go on. Answer the same 2 questions to you. Go on.
Someone for me, yes, I think he's a very good manager for his level. Yeah, maybe the step up level.
What, Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
that level. I'm telling you now, we all know how it happens in the new season. Someone gets sacked. He'll probably get one of them jobs.
Like if a new team comes up.
Yeah,
and they do
or not
very
even a
badly,
new team. Someone like a Palace might sack the manager. Or,
like a West Ham.
I mean, a West Ham. You know what I mean? He probably gets his name thrown in the hat for them jobs. And he probably even gets it.
Well, like a Brighton or something.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? You know, at the start of every season,
that would cause
someone
chaos.
panics, don't they? Someone panics.
Someone presses. Someone always presses.
Watford, prime example.
They always
3 times.
like 10
pressing
games and
they've
lost 6, and you know what I mean? Probably 1, 2, and that. You know what I'm saying? And they sack the manager. There's always them type of managers like your Pardew's and your, you know what I mean?
Your
A few years
Allardyces.
ago, it was your Allardyce and them type of
Pulis.
You can see him at
Pulis.
Newcastle.
He, for me, how
Now the takeover's not happening. That makes sense.
if a team sacks their manager, he's probably one of the first names on that list. Do you know what I
definitely.
mean? He's top of that list. Who's probably going to get a shout? But yeah, have Watford got? They've not got a new manager, have they? Watford, they just sacked by him, innit?
Yeah,
Did you sack Hayden Mullins?
No, he's just temp.
Oh, he's just temporary.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he had the job
No. I think you might. I don't know. There might be something in that, but I'm sure when I seen it, he's just temp. He probably gets that job.
He probably.
He
yeah.
probably by the start of next season is their manager.
Watford would make sense because I think it was just the end of the road in terms of Bournemouth. Yannicka, those same 2 questions to you. Like, what's your thoughts on Eddie Howe and where do you see him going?
Yeah, I do like him. I like Bournemouth, to be honest. I didn't want them to go down.
Okay.
Because they're a young team. You know, I like that. Obviously, he's got some good results, against the big teams. I think it's kind of in the middle where they struggle, where it's like your Crystal Palace or whatever. I'm not too sure on all the results, but I think that's where they struggle because, they're not an easy team for us to play. Do you know what I mean? Even when we got the 100 points, we got it in the final day against them, and it was literally the final minutes where we won that game. So, he is a good manager. I agree. I do feel like Crystal Palace might change their manager, and I do feel like that might be somewhere that he might go. But I don't know. It just depends who sacks the manager, what jobs are available, if he wants to go there. You don't know. So, yeah, I think it will depend on him. But yeah, he should be in the Prem if he can be. There are some people that are criticising him because they're saying, well, he did lose X amount of games or whatever. But I think for what that squad is, it's a young squad. I wouldn't expect them to be finishing top 10. Do you know what I mean? So I think he's done all right on what he did before, obviously, to get them where they were. He's done a good job.
No, I hear what you're saying with that because he was in the Premier League with Bournemouth for 5 years, so it's kind of like, yeah, you've done a good job. And sometimes it's just the end of the road. That's what it is. That's why he left. Sometimes you have to freshen up and just go again. Go on. Before we do the season review, we'll do a quick review of every team. Go on, Jake.
Just one thing I want to say on him. Yeah. The transfers, what he's had, bit strange. And I don't know if it's his choices. Like, they've given Liverpool, 30, 40. How much money did they give you
70.
for Jordan Ibe and Solanke?
Nah, so we got Solanke for 20 million, Jordan Ibe for 20 million, and then we sold the left back something I can't remember. He was young. We sold him for 15 million. So there's 55 million. Not even mentioning the loan agreement which we had for Harry Wilson, which was ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah, it was a couple mil, isn't it? Like, are they? See, here's one thing where it balances on if he deserves to go or not. Were they his transfers? If they were your transfers and you spent 55 mil on those players and the return you got, then maybe you deserve, because 55 mil for a Bournemouth is probably like United misspending 130 mil, or you know what I mean?
Like United spending for the past.
No, but I mean, like,
years. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
We've had some good transfers. They've not transfers is probably what's let Bournemouth down. Yeah. It's not the players what he's had and he's coached. Because if you look like a Callum Wilson and he's brought, he's actually Josh. I said Josh King's not good enough for United. Okay, but he's brought players along. For me, were those his transfers? That's one thing. Are they transfers that the club's brought in? Because they seem to have try and fit a type of model. Do you get what I mean? Young players and all of that. So it depends on the transfers. But if they're not his transfers and the club's done that to him, that's wrong.
I hear what you're saying. Aiden Andrews says, big up JV, strong flawless. Yo, salute. Salute to everybody in the comments as well. If you are watching live on YouTube or you watching this back after the show, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube, and hit that notification bell as well. Man. And if you happen to be listening on Spotify or some other audio platform, salute, yo, really, you lot make this show happen, because without you, we literally would just be talking to ourselves. So, yeah, we appreciate it a lot. Just going through here. Yeah, that's it. Malcolm said, guys, I'm thinking of becoming a Manchester United manager as my dream career. So if there are any tips you can give me, I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you do it, bring in me, JV, and Stro in it.
Don't bring me. Actually, bring me in.
You know what, Malcolm?
Bring on me and JV as coach. Yeah,
you know what,
don't
Malcolm?
bring Yannicka either.
Yeah, if you want to be Manchester United manager, you need to spend about 20 quid. It's a game. It's called Football Manager. Yeah, you can get that done right now. Yeah.
That's what it is, right? So what we'll do next is we'll run through Premier League, all 20 teams, and just give as quick as we can reviews. Obviously, some will be more exciting.
Mark them out of 10.
Once we get to the top, yeah, that's a good idea there, Stroke. But mark them out of 10, and obviously as we get to the top of the league, that's when the more interesting topics will come. Have you got the league table up there, Stroke? All right, then go on. You kick us off then. You start it, and then
Norwich.
we just go around. You start. You give them a score.
2.
0, innit?
No. The reason why I say 2 because they play good football at times. That's the only reason why they're getting a slightly decent mark.
They also have players who, with Todd Cantwell, Jamal Lewis, who they can't get money for as well. They put themselves in the window.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what it is for me?
Yeah, go on. Give us a number.
They get a 0, bro. You got relegated. You got relegated trying to play football when you don't have the players. There's certain times Norwich should have tried to be a bit ugly.
I get what you're saying.
Shut up shop a bit.
Like they did in the FA Cup against you.
Play that English mentality.
Yeah.
Play out wide, whip it in.
Yeah,
Just show
man.
Dyche.
Yeah.
Just tough it up a bit. They're
Yeah.
a bit flimsy.
Get what you're saying,
And
I
transfers. No, actually, no. Definitely 100% 0. Transfers.
I'll give him a 1. Yannicka. Don't be nice.
Well, they
I
beat
know what
us,
you like.
so you know.
See that you pay.
That's
Don't
their
say
club.
they beat you in it. Right,
Nah, I'd say a 2 simply because of how far they got in the FA Cup because they did all right. But yeah, league wise, I think they played some good football. Pookie started really well. You know, it looked like he was gonna continue, and then he kind of fell off a bit. But he started. You know, at the start of the season they were great, and then they just kind of fell off a little bit after they beat us. Happens a lot, you know. But yeah, I think 2. Obviously, they were the first ones relegated, so can't give them.
Yeah, you lot in the comments as well also join in and put your numbers for like teams. Obviously, we're going through every Premier League team. So Faris says Norwich 2 out of 10. I said 1. Yeah, go on, Stroll. Next team.
Watford. Right, this is the problem because this is purely based on the stupid owner that thinks it's acceptable to sack your manager with a couple games to go in a relegation.
Fall off, he died. Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah,
that's a
Pookie
god.
turned into Pookie from New Jack City, man. That's what he turned into.
That was a god fault. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Stroll. Go on.
No, I'm just saying, like, I love Troy Deeney, I really do, but this is purely based at the board. You're getting a -10 because you're absolutely shocking, thinking it's acceptable to sack your manager with a couple games to go in a relegation battle. You deserve to be relegated just off the basis of that.
They probably when they made that decision, they relegated them.
Yeah, because they probably could have survived. All right, go on, Yannicka. Would you give Watford?
Oh,
Did they beat City or not? Did they?
no.
No, they beat us. That was their trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
You know what I mean?
And us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
they beat
think-
you lot. Yeah,
I
forgot they beat
think
Liverpool.
it was the management. I think you can't keep bringing people in and out. It takes them a while to settle in.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a few games left. The worst that could happen is they get relegated. They got relegated anyway.
Yeah.
They had City to
Yeah.
play. You're not going to go out and beat City, really, Watford, the way they play. So I think it was a pointless thing to do. And at least if they'd have kept the same manager, they would have been able to think, okay, we've gone down without, I don't know.
It was
I
saying,
don't
go
agree
on,
with that.
JV. What are you giving?
I was
Yeah,
just
no,
like-
the comments. I'm laughing. At the
I'm laughing at the comments.
No.
The people in the comments. So just
Oh,
before-
shit, yeah.
Get to
Yeah,
it.
they actually, sorry.
Yeah, it's cool.
They did, you know, in terms of beating Liverpool, they did us a favour there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so
Go on, give us your quick score, then I'll run through. I'll
Yeah,
give
you know
mine,
what?
and then I'll go through the comments.
you know what? Yeah, my guy Welbeck plays there. Yeah, and
Yeah,
he
shout
come
out
back and he
Welbeck.
busts up some goals for them and that. You get what I'm saying? So I just think, yeah, the management is. You know what? Actually, they deserve a really bad rating because probably out of all the teams that were down there, they probably were the best equipped.
They could have. They should. Yes, with the players they have, they defo can play. Even though they can play ball, they can play ugly football.
Yes.
They have enough there, like to the point where I think when we did the show, I think at a restart, it was like 3 weeks in, and then we all said, yeah, Watford will survive.
Yeah,
They have enough.
they've got enough in it.
Yeah.
On
They have
paper, they've
enough.
got enough. So for
Alright,
me,
so we
that's
scored
really
them.
bad. Yeah, 0.
0. What did you give him, Yannicka? I forgot. What did you give him?
don't know.
Yeah, you didn't even give a score. See, you tried to pass it on. You ain't scored him.
1.
You giving him a 1. So 0, 1. Stroll, what did you give him?
-10.
You give him a -10. For the man, I have to give him.
Yeah.
I'd say a 1 as well. I'd give
Nah,
him a 1.
It's horrible.
I'd have to. It is. So yeah, Malcolm said Watford get 0. He said Norwich 1/2, and I'm being generous. Faris says Watford get a 1. Aidan Andrews says Watford had more managers than Arsenal's useless board. Machiavelli says, shout out Machiavelli, said Watford 2 because they stopped Liverpool being unbeaten. That's true actually. I have to give them a 2 still. They did that. Watford 1 because they beat Liverpool. Love the pay. Next team, Strong.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, we kind of discussed Bournemouth. Just do them scores quick. What are you scoring them?
2.
All right. Yannicka,
Yeah, 2.
JV.
Yeah, dead man.
Yes.
Dead, fam. Yeah, all them relegated teams, they deserve 0 because if you really deep it, they've kind of brought it on themselves. All of the, it's not been like, you know, remember when you had like Derby a few years ago and it was like, oh, these are just not good enough, and you kind of felt a little bit sorry for them. They just weren't good enough. Do you know what I mean? Like they actually tried a bit. They tried to play ugly. You just weren't good enough. Everyone down there who's got relegated, you've caused it yourself.
Yeah, I
so
get what you're saying.
you
Like
all
I
get
said,
0.
people, everybody in the comments, like even if you've not commented before and you're just watching, yeah, just drop your scores as well. Yeah, Malcolm says Bournemouth 1. Why they give Bournemouth? Yeah, because they, even though they're a Premier League side, they always felt like a Championship side.
Yeah.
Like I never really looked at him like a Premier League side. You get what I'm saying? Never ever. So yeah, I give him a 1. Go on, next team. Next team stroke.
Villa.
Woo. Go on, you start.
2.
Why 2? Why so low?
Because the shocking transfers. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah, the strikers they got are pretty bad.
The only good transfer they did was, I swear they got Tyrone Mings this season, which is a phenomenal transfer.
Right.
And they got Pepe Reina in that because they needed a goalkeeper. Shocking. They should have got relegated. Poor side, poor outfit.
So that's why I can't give them a 2. So you're saying 2, Yannicka?
I'm saying 2 because they survived.
I'd say 3. Similar reasons, because, you know, on another season they would have gone down.
Yeah.
They only just survived. So, yeah, I don't think they've been good enough. Yeah, I don't know. Not much to say.
Cool.
I'm not a massive Villa fan, but yeah.
What, did they beat you lot this season as well? What happened?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
So why don't you like Villa? Let's get into that. Why don't you like Villa? What happened?
No, I think it's a lot of our fans had a bit of an issue, you know, when we were in the cup final. And like the way their fans were, I think they were giving a bit of.
What happened now? Give us context. I'm
No,
trying to skip over it.
no, in the Carling Cup final.
Nah,
Villa
I want to hear.
fans-
I want to hear. Yannicka give this. You trying to act.
do you know
you trying to
what?
act
To be
prim and
honest,
proper for radio.
it
Go on.
was cool for me. Like
Yeah,
I went there, it was
What
fine.
happened?
I had no problems. But
Go
I
on,
think
tell
they
me
were
what
just
happened.
giving, you know, because they won the Champions League
Oh,
back in the day. I
right.
think it's a bit like
Yeah.
we're better than you, and it's like, well, you're not better. You might be, you know,
Okay.
historically, but right now. But yeah,
Alright, cool.
I think.
So what number you give? You say a 3.
Yeah, I'd say 3 because they did
3.
stay up.
What you
Yeah.
saying? What did you say?
I said a 2.
1. A 2. You know what? I gotta give them a 6. And
What?
you know why? Nah, no, let me
Walk
get, let me
out
get
of
it
this
out.
building
You
right
know
now.
the reason why I have to give them a. You
A
know why I have,
6?
You know why I have to give them a 6? Because there's no way they should have survived with that team. There's no way they should have survived. I'm talking about
A
Aston
6?
Villa. There's no way they should have survived.
Oh no.
There's
Villa-
no way they should have survived.
Bro, Villa get like a 9.
Yeah, but
Do you
what
know
I'm
why?
talking about. They
No,
shouldn't
no,
have
no,
survived.
alright
I won't
then.
give them a
What-
9, but
what
they shouldn't
is-
have survived.
At the start of the season,
Yes.
what is Villa's
Their objective is to survive.
survive?
Yes, and they survived. But the reason why I wouldn't give them such a high 9 because they didn't survive. with
Nah.
a flying colours.
What
That's
I'm
something I
saying
would
is,
give to a Sheffield
nah,
United.
you see what? Nah, you
Yeah.
see Sheffield United. Theirs is through the roof because they
Yeah.
over exceeded.
Yeah.
A Villa,
They matched. They hit their target.
I'm telling you now. You know, like when you play. You know, like when you play your football manager, and the board comes to you at the start of the season, they go, "Just survive."
Yeah.
If you just survive, we're happy. That is the conversation Villa
Yeah.
had at the start of the
And they
season.
survived, but
Survive.
I can't give them a 9 because they didn't do it with no style. They
Nah,
didn't do it well. But
they
I give
did.
them a 6 because they achieved their target. Just
Let me put it to you like this, yeah.
Their transfers were terrible.
yeah, they was.
No,
but
they were.
I'm judging everything.
But
like
what I'm saying
that
is,
adds into my point. Sorry to cut you
Go
off,
on.
JB. That adds into my point. There's no way. I watched them United when United played Villa, and I think they played Arsenal before, and they beat Arsenal. It was the game after, I think, and I'm like, how are these a Premier League side? Like to me, you lot would struggle in the Championship. So the fact they managed somehow to accumulate enough points to survive, I give the manager and the players a hell of a lot of credit. That's why I give them a 6.
nah, you know what it is? I honestly put it like, all right then, at the start of this season, if Liverpool's objective was to win the league,
Yeah.
then, and they've done that, that's 10 out of 10. Do you understand? That's exactly what they
Yeah,
set
I know
out
what
to
you're
do.
saying. I know what you're saying.
That is
Yeah.
the only other thing for me, with that squad that Villa could have done,
Yeah.
is a cup run.
It's
To
a
add
cup
to
run,
it,
but
that's
they
the only
could've-
thing.
They maybe
they
could have.
did technically.
They
Was
did.
that this year when they were?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
They
kind of had a
got to
cup run.
final.
Yeah, come on, man.
And
They've
also
got a
playing,
cup
but the
run.
thing is, the transfers being bad, playing better football and stuff like that. So
Nah,
that's why
bro.
it is.
If you look at their squad, like you said, right,
Their squad isn't good at all.
their squad is championship up to 10th in the championship. That's you could see that squad and you wouldn't bat an eyelid.
Yeah, I get what you said.
You'd just go, oh yeah, Grealish stands out. He shouldn't be there. Apart from everyone else, you'd be like,
Someone in the car said this. I'm looking there. Said Bournemouth minus 20. How the hell do you lose 4-1 to Newcastle?
yeah, for real.
So,
How do you let Newcastle
Newcastle
score 4 goals?
away from home, you know.
Oh, away,
I've
that's even
I've
worse.
never done that in the past 10
Almiron
years.
as well, though.
That's what it is. Malcolm says Villa 3 because they stayed up. Stefan says Grealish 7 out of 10, but Villa 3. Y'all are very disrespectful.
Nah, Villa
Faris
deserve.
says Aston Villa 3.5/10. And Malcolm says Aston Villa the killer with laughing faces.
Do you know the thing?
But go on, one last point.
Quickly,
and then
one
keep
with
moving
Villa.
on. Yeah.
This is the reason why I give Villa such a high mark. They now have next season as a Premier League team, which they can build on. Do you
that's true.
understand?
So it'll be interested to see if they
Yeah.
build. It will. Go on,
You get what
Stone.
I'm
Next one. We'll run through these quick.
Right, West Ham,
Go on, you start.
2. No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
because the amount of money
I'm
they
laughing at
spent,
Yannicka's response.
the
Go
amount
on.
of money they spent,
Yeah.
they should be higher up.
Yeah, I get you. So,
Who down there's got a £44 million striker?
Yeah, that's true. So you're saying 2, Yannicka? What you saying?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I do
Same
like
too.
West Ham, but I
Yeah.
think they should be higher. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
they've got
cool.
they've been a Premier League team for years as well.
Yes.
So
JV,
Yeah,
quick one.
2-3. Yeah, that's it.
I think I said 2, 3. Yeah, I'll go with 2. I don't like West Ham. Right, go on.
Brighton, about 4.
That low.
No, I'd
Consider-
say high.
Yeah, serious. That's what I'm saying. Yo, Stro, you can tell you're a manager. You harsh with these scores. You harsh, like they survived. And here another team who they did like better than Villa in terms of they survived like with a few games. to
What was
spare.
their position?
They finished 15th. That's incredible.
That's
for them.
good, man.
All right, so you're saying 4. Yannick, go on, Brighton. Did they beat you lot as well? What happened? Get me.
I'd probably say about a 6. I think they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
You
6,
know,
alright, bro, what
pretty-
you say?
Yeah, man. It did. Brighton did what it says on the tin, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you open that tin and it said baked beans on the outside and it's baked beans on the inside, they did the job in it. That's Brighton right now. They did their job. There's nothing more
You're a
that they
fool.
could have expected, though.
I'd give
Yeah.
them a 7 because in the manner in which they stayed.
Yeah, there's
Because
nothing more
the thing
comfortable
is,
in
they
it.
were in the last day and get
Yeah,
out like Aston
yeah.
Villa did. And again, their team. You could argue like West Ham have a better team. You could argue Watford have a better team. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You could Villa.
All
it's close.
all them teams who got relegated have got a better team than Brighton.
That's a fair point, you know. Yeah, I'd have to give him a 7 for finishing 15th.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's
Comfortable.
incredible. Go on. Next one.
Palace.
Go on.
4.
Jeez.
No, because with their team, they should be
Nah,
finishing
Palace
top
is
10.
low. Palace should be
They
low.
should be finishing
Nah,
top
nah, nah,
10.
nah. You know why
Zaha.
Palace? Yes, Zaha alone. Zaha
They've
alone.
got to be
We
fin-
said this the other day.
Townsend.
Zaha, yeah.
Every team outside who's finished in the Champions League right now, outside of the top 4 right now, Zaha gets into every one of those teams. Everyone below top 4, Zaha gets
They've
into
got to be
every one of
high
those
with
Alright,
teams.
so you're saying 4?
Yeah.
Yannicka? I know you've not had problems with them. Even I know that. Go on.
That's my local team. Yeah, I'd say 4. I think they should have done better,
All right, go on.
personally.
I'd say really bad, like
Go on.
2 or something. You know why? Because you've got even. I know Benteke's not been the best, but he's still he has caliber to him. He's an international striker.
Yeah.
You've got an international striker and one of the trickiest wingers in the league. You
You know
should be
what?
getting more out of them.
You lot make compelling points still. So I think I was gonna say 5, but I say 4. All right, it would just because obviously we spoke on Zaha last week.
Yeah.
That's the from a third eye view extra time people as well, which we will.
Soon come.
Yeah, which me and JV did the first one last week, and we'll also be doing one this week as well. And Yannick, I believe you'll be joining us as well for that. Are you going? Putting you on the
When
spot
is
right
that?
now. We're doing it straight after the show.
Okay.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'd say 4. So what did you say, Stro? For Palace, you said 4. Yannick, you said 4. It's 4s
Yeah.
across the board. So yeah, Malcolm says West Ham 1. Faris says West Ham 2.75 out of 10.
Man said 7-5, you know.
I said Brighton 5.25 out of 10. Said Palace 4.5 out of 10. I hear that. 4-4's that. Next team, Stro?
Newcastle, 5. Just because of Mike Ashley.
5. Where did he finish? 13th.
Yeah, 13.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 13th they finished. Yeah. All right. So you're saying 5. What about you, Jan?
Yeah, I'd say 5. I think they did what they're supposed to do.
JV?
I'd say 7, mate. With what they have in that team,
I can't argue with that.
with what they actually have in that team,
Yeah, it's not the best.
that team's shocking, bro. Shocking.
Matt Ritchie.
Except for Gucci, except for Gucci Mane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He spent
My
40
man with his
million
Gucci headband.
Oh yeah, they spent
Yeah.
40 mil on the yard man, didn't they?
Oh, Joe Linton.
Yeah,
Nah, they get a lower rating for the Joe Linton. Yo,
Joe
he's
Linton.
not a Brillian, fam.
Joe
Ali
He
Linton.
is not Brazilian.
He's definitely got some.
He's
Jamaican
a yard
roots with that
man.
name.
He's
That
a
is
yard
That
man.
is a Jamaican name through and through.
Yeah,
Like, you
man,
hear
he's a
his
yard
grandma
man.
calling him, you
He's
get
had
me?
some bad magic sprinkled on him once.
Yeah,
Joe
you see,
Linton.
you know what it is? Actually, they get a lower rating because once again, you've got
Nah, that team is average though.
I know, but you see,
a banger.
a 40 million pound striker. Everyone down there doesn't have
And
that.
down
Just
there
West,
on
just
as well.
West Ham. It's literally just West Ham, innit? I'd give them, because I think they're that bad even with it. I'd give them a 7. I think they've done very well to finish.
Yeah,
15th.
like you
If
said,
they-
they're not.
To me, I think if Newcastle finished 17th, that's a good season.
Yeah, for Newcastle to not be involved in no relegation day passer where they're trying to get out.
I love that relegation day pass.
You know what I'm saying? But they're not like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I would expect them to be right. And Newcastle have to win by win this game and score 4 goals to stay up. You know what I mean? They didn't have none of that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I get what you're
So
saying.
for them, it's good.
Nah, fully.
Saying then, flawless.
Who did I
He
what?
said 7.
Yeah, I said 7. Yeah, I give him a 7. What did you give him? 4.
Nah,
What do
I
you
give
give
him
him,
a
yeah?
5, a 5.
5,
5, I think.
5.
Yeah.
7. All right, go on, next one. Oh, yeah, Faris says Newcastle 5.5 out of 10. You love these
The
point
point
five
fives,
vibes,
innit?
innit? All right,
Jeez.
Faris. Yeah, go on. Next one.
Everton, 2.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
0. What's positions at?
12.
Absolutely shocking.
Here's the thing is, because we did, I remember when Ancelotti first came in, and we did like a whole like opening segment conversation about it.
They had like a good half an hour
And
out
then-
of us.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Yeah, it was a solid. Yeah, it was a very good half an hour, and probably the last one Everton get half an hour wise. And then they came back after lockdown. There was no fans, and Everton just fell off a cliff.
Do you
It
know?
goes to show the difference about having fans there. Yeah, go on.
Let me give you this quick stat. 25 years Carlo Ancelotti as a manager never finished below the top 10. Comes to Everton.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think, like I said, I think if the fans are still in the stadium, they don't finish that. No, where did they finish? 11th.
No, 12. The best thing
12.
Everton did this season was build a temporary stand so you can't see our main stand. They are
You know,
poor.
I love that.
They are
I would do that type of thing. I really
Like,
pay.
Poor.
For me,
Alright,
the
so go
amount
on,
of
score.
the amount of quality they've got, they have to be in the minuses.
They've got
There's
T-Rex arms and
no way.
nets.
Yeah, come on, bro.
They've got
Look
Jordan Pickford
at
in net.
their team.
I don't
Look
think that
at-
team's that good.
No,
They've got
bro,
Jordan
I'm
Pickford in
talking.
net.
All right, then.
Yeah, go on.
You put that Everton team there
Yeah.
on piece of paper next to Newcastle's, the team who's just.
That's a fair point. That is a valid point, but still, even though I think that their team, like you said, is better than Newcastle, I don't rate their players that highly.
All right, then.
The only one-
Richarlison or Matt Ritchie?
Richarlison?
Richard or Rich?
I don't
They
rate
both
either
got
of them.
rich.
I
Yeah.
would edge Richarlison, but that's a slight edge.
All right, then, okay.
Like, that's the smallest. of
Calvert
edges.
Lewin and the Yardman.
I like Calvert Lewin.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, I like Calvert
Do you get what I'm saying?
I like Calvert Lewin, but then the
The
rest
left
isn't
back.
much.
The left back.
Digny's
Digne.
good, but then you have your Pickfords. Who's the centre? Will Keane. Who's their right back?
They
Coleman.
had that Sidibe on
Coleman.
loan.
Stevie
and- yeah,
Coleman. I'm not really fans of. You know me. We spoke in depth about me not rating Richarlison. Their midfield fought against Liverpool when they played 4-4-2. It's a miracle they got out of that. It was Iwobi, Gordon. I even know who he is. Some kid
Yeah,
that was
Gordon,
mad, that was
Iwobi,
mad, that.
Yeah, Gomez, and who was the fourth? They had someone
Iwobi.
else.
It was
The kid.
Davis.
Davies. Look at that. That four wouldn't look out of place in my side league team. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad that four is. I seen that four and I'm like, is this really like a Premier? Like, he did miracles to get out of, I'm saying, that game in particular. With that, I'm like, you are really dealing with terrible.
You know how
tools.
mad it is?
Terrible tools. I'd give him a 4. But go on.
Was that just the Duncan Ferguson bounce extended into Ancelotti's reign for a
Possibly.
bit?
I
Could be,
think
you
I
know?
think the fans hit him because Goodison's not an easy place to
It's
go.
a horrible
Yes.
ground. Like,
If you look
it's
at the
one of
way
them.
they played against Liverpool in a Merseyside derby, they would never play like that at Goodison with fans being there.
Oh, no.
So I'm gonna say 4. Go on. What did you score?
They got to be in the minuses.
So you
bro.
say
the amount of
minus
money
what?
spent and
Minus what?
everything. Minus 10 or something.
Minus 10.
Shocking.
I'd say 2, simply because, like says, money spent.
2. All right.
It's
Stroh, what did you give him?
2.
All right,
They
next
should be
team.
looking at they should be looking at Europe. At the
Right.
start of the season, they probably
Yeah.
thought they could nick a Europa League place.
Possibly.
Definitely top 10.
I'd give him a 4, but go on.
Right, let's quickly try and go through these
Yeah.
because I'm about to get controversial real soon.
All
Go
right.
on.
Southampton, 7. Especially after the 8-1.
Nah,
Right.
for me, after that thing, that's a 10. That's a
That's
10.
interesting.
After
All right,
that,
so you're
because
saying 10. I get that.
you
Go
know
on,
why?
quickly run on it. Yeah,
You've got you've literally got one of the top goal scorers in the league. Do you get what I'm saying? You've got one of the top goal scorers in the league. You've been battered. You've kept your manager, kept the faith in him, give him a chance. He's turned it
I
around.
know where did they finish? Was it 11th?
Yeah,
That's absolutely incredible.
That's
so you're
a
saying
10.
10. You're saying
7.
Yannick?
Yeah, I'd say 8. I
Yeah,
think
I'd
they
give
did
him
well.
I'd give him a 9. After
Yeah.
getting beaten 9-0
They did well.
on live on Sky, it's pretty much a wrap.
And having one of the top scoring strikers in the
Yes.
league.
I'll give him a 9.
You're doing
Alright,
something right then, innit?
cool. So we got 9, 10, 8,
7.
7.
I have
Cool.
been a bit generous as well. But,
Um,
you know.
Burnley, 5.
5. Okay, come on, Burnley. You're not a fan of Burnley.
Just because they're in top 10.
What
purely.
position?
I just think,
10.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
Burnley
man.
did what they were probably
what it
set
says
out
on the
to
tin.
do.
Yeah, that's what it said. I'd
Yeah.
give him a 6 because they squeeze every ounce of that
Yeah.
squad out.
I
Yeah.
give him
Really
a
do.
7, bro. 7,
Yeah,
8.
Like, you're
7
talking
too.
about plays like there's no one. Burnley players never get linked with anybody. No one's ever like, oh, Chris Wood's been linked with such and such. Dwight McNeil's been linked with such and such. It never happens. Never can I remember.
Not even paper
Not
talk,
even
fam.
paper talk.
what I'm
Never.
saying?
Oh, Sean Dyche.
Yeah, because it ain't worth the paper it's printed
Ashley
on.
Barnes,
that's
30
why.
mil. You know what I'm
Actually,
saying?
never
Never
hear
in
that. But yet, you don't have none. They have no star players whatsoever. No flair, no nothing. But they consistently finish in the top
Yeah.
10. Like, they really get every
Yeah,
outside
They're
that
solid,
squad.
you know.
Yeah.
They've done well.
I give them a 7.
So
They've
They get every-
done what they're
Yeah,
supposed to do
so
this
I'm
season.
saying 7. Were you saying, JB?
Yeah, 7, solid 7.
Yeah,
Yannick?
I'd say 7, yeah.
7.
5.
5. Nah, you really harsh with these managers scoring.
Oh,
Next
wait until we go up.
Go on.
Sheffield United, 10.
Sheffield United 10. I don't
Yeah,
think anyone can argue with
no.
that.
9.
Why
just
we
because
stayed
of
at
the
1?
fall-off.
Okay, fair enough. I give him a 10 because where did he finish? 8th,
9th.
9th. Yeah, I gotta give him. That's incredible. And had the lockdown not happened, I fully believe. Well, they
They'll be in
100%
Champions League.
would have finished in
Yeah, yeah.
the Europa League spaces at least.
Nah, I
and
think
they would-
Champions
Champions League they would have. So I gotta give him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta give him a 10. So everyone, what 10s across the board, and JB, you're saying 9.
Just because of that.
All right,
fall-off.
cool. Go on, Sharon.
Arsenal 3
Why 3?
because he spent
Quick.
72 million on Pepe.
All right, cool. 3, Yannick.
I think 4 because they underachieved for Arsenal, even though they got the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I think
Go on. Yeah. I
should be
did the FA
finishing
Cup.
higher, but the FA Cup boosts it a bit.
Go on.
Maybe a 6 with the FA Cup.
Without the FA Cup, I'd be saying 0.
Right. So
With
with the
that,
FA
they
Cup,
get a 5
I think a 5.
because
yeah.
you've
Yeah, 5
you've
fair.
pulled-
salvaged something of the season.
you've
and
glossed,
got
you've
your-
put a bit of gloss over
Yeah.
the season.
and
you
you've
know what
got
I'm
you,
saying?
and you've got Europa League, so I would go with 5 as well because Arteta's not
Mhm.
getting.
Mm.
He's not got the best players there, as we know. Go on,
Wolves 7.
that's fair.
What position was it?
7.
I think 7 across the boards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think 7.
Yeah.
I think 7. Just
Agree with
going through here, I'll just go through some. Machiavelli says, Digny, Richarlison, and Calvert-Lewin are the only decent players at Everton. Faris says Sheffield United 8.5 out of 10. Machiavelli said Dwight McNeil is quality, but Machiavelli, do you want him at your team? Faris says Arsenal 5. And Aidan Andrews said didn't Burnley come OT and get the W exactly. He also says Sheffield United 9. Sheffield 11 out of 10. Stefan says, and he said Arsenal 2 for spending 72 million on the Ivorian World Cup. Use a lot of jokes. Right, go on, Stro.
Tottenham 2.
Fair.
Where did Tottenham finish?
6th.
6. I want a 2.
Are you
I give him
joking?
more than a 2.
No, that's a shocking season.
I give him more than a
They
2.
were Champions League finalists last season.
Yeah, but I'd still give him more than a 2.
No.
I said no. All right,
They've got world class to sell, so they should be finishing higher.
You petty, yo.
Now you know what?
Petty.
So
Go on, give us a number. All right, go on, give us a number because we got to run through this.
4.
Four.
You've got Harry Kane. You should be finishing higher than
That's
that.
what I mean.
I can only say maybe, possibly 5th. Maybe, yeah, maybe 5th. I don't know.
They should have been in the top 4 this season after last season.
Now you know what? Actually, I'm gonna revise it.
Go on, give us a number. As you're revising, Yannicka, what you
Probably
saying?
a 6 because where else? If you look at everyone above them,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm looking at. I'm saying 5.
who do they deserve to be ahead of?
I'm doing a Faris here. I'm giving him a 5.5. So I'm saying 5.5.
Yeah, with you, I'm with
You're
you.
saying 5. Yannicka, I know you ain't the biggest fan of Spurs, so don't try
Yeah,
and be
I'd
nice.
probably say about a 5.5. They did finish on the same points as Wolves. I didn't realise that before. So, you know, a few goals and, you know, they're lower. But yeah, I think they should be doing better. They've got Harry Kane. They've got a good manager as well in
Oh,
Jose.
God.
I know he's a bit suspect nowadays,
Yeah,
but
he's not
you know
what he was.
he wins trophies usually, you know, and he hasn't won anything with them. So we'll see what happens
Yeah.
next season.
I'm
I'll
just
give him a bit longer, but yeah, I think they've underachieved for.
Shout out Stefan. He said
Should be
Spurs
there.
4. Their football is dead. Son should leave these farmers. Jokes. You're an Arsenal fan. So, Stroll, what you giving him?
2.
You give him a 2. Jeez. All right, next team.
Leicester 8.
They
Because
finished 5th.
yeah,
they,
because
there's no
because
chance
they never should have been
In the
grinding
Champions League.
out into the Champions League to the last day of the season. Never.
I say 8 because if they get in Champions League, it's a 10.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
definitely.
So I gotta give him an 8 because nobody was saying at the start of the season Leicester are gonna finish 5th. Nobody was saying this whatsoever. So I'd say 8. Stroll, you're saying 8. Yannicka,
I'd actually say 9 because I think they overachieved for most of the season, which put them in that position where they're battling it with Man United to the last day anyway.
That's a fair
So,
point. So
yeah,
2 8s and
I'd say
9.
that.
JV.
I'd say 8 just because of the fall off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was
Yeah.
in their hands.
Yeah,
As
it
much as they
was.
Yeah.
overachieved, it
Yeah.
was in their hands. They've thrown that away.
Yeah.
They were so many points ahead of us in like January, February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, JG says no way Spurs can be rated better than Arsenal when they didn't win anything. It's like a point in it. What did I give? No, wait, I give Arsenal. What did I give Arsenal? I think a 4. Did I say 4?
I can't remember.
I can't even remember. I swear I said Arsenal 4 and Spurs are 5.5. So there's a 1.5 difference in it. North London's dead anyway. Don't worry about
it's
it.
all good.
All right, go on, Stro.
Chelsea 8. Just for finishing in the top 4.
Finishing in the top 4 with everything they had, I would give him, even though they still have quality there, I'd say 7.5. But you're saying
Yeah.
8. Yannicka.
I'd say 8 just because new manager.
Okay.
You know, quite a lot of young players, transfer ban.
Mm.
I know they bought players,
So we're
but
saying 2 8s.
yeah.
JV.
I'd say
I said 7.
6 or 7.
Okay. So 6.5.
Because everyone, people always saying, oh, you know, they had this ban and this and that. They had the chance to improve the team.
Yeah.
The fact for me, it's a bit worrying that he wasn't given the funds. Is he not trusted to improve the team then? Did he have to wait a bit more see what was going on, and then say, all right, yeah, we'll give you something for next season. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, if he wins the final as well, that changes it. Obviously, you know what I mean.
I agree.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why Arsenal got more than what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say it's like a 6-7.
All right, fair enough. That's fair enough. All right, next
United,
one.
8.
8. Why?
Because since January, how far off you were to finish third, great achievement, and
Alright.
you've got to credit it.
Go on,
So, yeah.
Yannicka. Get your bias out. Go on.
What? Nah, JK.
See that?
Yeah,
There you
no,
go.
I agree. Where the table was a few months ago, they should never have been third. So I think they've
facts.
done incredibly well to get where they did.
All right, go on, JV.
I say a 6-7.
That low?
Yeah,
Why? Because of the football.
because we've only got there because everyone else was dead.
That's true. That is a
That
fair
is true.
point, but you can only play what you're up against.
Yeah, that's why you got a 6.
Nah, the reason I have to give United 8 because third was the best we were going to do. We weren't going
You
to
know
catch
why?
Liverpool or City, so
If you
it was
had
gonna
a
be the best.
if you had a next one and you said what's Bruno's rating, yeah, because to me Bruno made that season.
Yeah, of course.
Next season is a worry because you're not gonna have a Bruno bounce. What can Solskjaer now do next season?
And this is the thing. So you're saying 6. I said 8.
Mm.
Surprisingly,
Because
Liverpool and
they
City
were
fans
that
both said
bad.
8 as well.
You have to remember how bad they
Yeah,
were
we
at
were.
one point.
Fam, we spoke about it on here on a
Yeah.
weekly basis. How many times did I come in here and I was fuming?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you do that body language there.
Yes, fam. I'm fuming. Like just
Yo,
thinking about some
them
of the stuff
dad
that's
arms,
happened,
them
yo.
dad arms there.
Like fuming. You know the amount of times in it.
Putting it on the table.
Like, I'm like the amount of
yeah.
times, the amount of times United have had results, and I've been doing fan cams, and before I've done the fan cam, I've not spoke to Stroll, and Stroll's messaged me, and he's like, I can't wait to see your fan cam. I know you are fuming, and this is before we've even spoke, so I've not tweeted anything, I've not said anything, but because Stroll knows my character, he's like, yo, I know you are
If
fuming.
we win the Europa though, it goes to an 8.
To me, if we win the Europa, it goes to a 9.
Yeah, same.
Because that
Same
was
with me.
that was the very best. Like if you ask a United fan, like realistically, in an ideal world, what's the best? I would have said third place and Europa League. The only thing that could have made it,
4 in Europa League.
yeah, well, top 4 in Europa League, yeah, but to finish third, to be the best out of the
Actually,
rest,
yeah.
is Liverpool and City.
7.
Liverpool and City are clear of everybody, so it's kind of like that's where it is because Liverpool and City are clear of everybody. We can just be the best of the rest, as much as it pains me to admit. And United were somehow the best of the rest, even though we only spent 22 days in the top 4 or wherever it was.
That's mad though.
But with our team, we should because we are better than Leicester. Chelsea's close, and I think I think United are better than everybody else. Obviously,
Yeah.
barring the top 2. So it's like, but yeah, if we win the Europa League, I bump it to a 9, and it makes a good season to me. A very good season.
Yeah, mine's a 7 actually. 7, yeah.
I'm saying 7. Go on,
But,
Stro.
Come to me last for this.
All right, but yeah, go on. Say the team.
City.
And we'll start with me. All right, Yannicka, you the City fan. You go first.
Okay.
You can go in depth on this one, innit?
Right, okay.
Take it away in it. Touch the mic is all yours.
Probably about a 6. And the reason why I say 6 is because we've won the League Cup, Champions League. We don't know yet. Obviously, that will depend. If we go and win that, it goes up. But I would say a 6 just because we lost 9 games. That, for us, our standards are high in
Yeah.
terms of the Premier League. And we've come off. The only reason why I let them off a little bit is because we've come off the back of 2 fantastic seasons. 198 points in 2 years.
Quick
So I
maths
knew
there.
there was going to be a bit of a dip. I did know there was going to be a bit of a dip. So I did say at the start of the season that I thought I couldn't see us winning it back to back to back, especially with us needing to win the Champions League. So I think that's at the back of the players' minds. And I thought because the way Liverpool are playing, they might win it. But, yeah, I think we just lost a lot of games. I think a few decisions happened that we weren't quite happy with at the start of the season. It kind of, I think with Laporte's injury, kind of just finished
really
the
did
season off for
create
us,
it early, yeah.
that early. And then after that, it was just about finishing second, really.
Alright.
But yeah, I think we've done okay. I think a lot of our fans will say we've had a terrible season. Really, we haven't. In anyone else's standards, they take what City have got.
The thing is,
You
because
know,
you touched on it there. Sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off. That because City standards are so high,
Yeah.
that's why you look high. Because even for
Yeah.
me, the outside looking in, a League Cup and a
Yeah,
second
yeah.
place finish for most sides,
Yeah,
it's a good season.
It's a 10, yeah,
but for Pep City, is like considering what you came off back-to-back league titles, it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's not. Go on, JV. Are you giving?
For me, it's like a 3-4.
Go on.
Simply because the failure to identify what needed replacing has ultimately cost them the league. I'd say if you get As much as everyone, oh, we didn't want Maguire, we didn't want this. Whoever you didn't want, you didn't bring in an adequate replacement. To play a 35-year-old defensive midfielder at the heart of your defense in one of the fastest paced leagues is a crime. I'm not saying it's the best league, but it's probably, if you look at in terms of everyone's attack, every team you play, it's probably got some sort of fast attacker, whether it's the smallest team. Do you know what I mean? So there's someone in there with pace who can get in behind. For me, the failure to replace to replace Company, and the manner in which they lost it, because if we're all honest, they probably lost it in about
like November, December.
Yeah, November. Yeah. But no, it was million done by December. It was done.
Yeah, Christmas it was.
We was in there. We called it from like November.
Yeah,
December, end of November. December said, "Yeah, this is a wrap." Yeah. You know what I mean? For me, that's the fate. That is what has cost him, and I want to see what's going to happen next year, because I don't think he's going to be that naive to not address.
Oh, I've said this. I said it already. City are going to throw.
They've already bought someone.
I said they're not going to go into the war chest. They are going to throw the whole war chest. Yeah. Like literally. Like that's exactly what it is. So what would I give him? Because they did win the League Cup, even though they have been bad. I would say 4, but obviously that can get bumped up if they do win the Champions League.
City could win the League Cup with their second string.
That's true, and that's why I give him a 4 for it and not 5, because that would probably be my Arsenal. I think I did give a 5 to for winning the FA Cup, but it's different strokes for different folks. So different teams, different standards.
Yeah.
So City's second string is good enough to challenge and possibly finish in the top 4 by itself.
Yes.
So it's like you have to, but still winning a trophy is winning a trophy. So it's kind of like, yes, I have to give you a standard 4 just for that, because it's City. I'll knock a point off, but their league defense wasn't good. But go on, Straw. I know you got a lot to say on Pep and that. You've butchered Pep many a time, so go on.
No, I'm not butchering him. I think he's a world-class manager. My problem with him is some of the stuff that's already been mentioned. You don't replace Company, which is shocking. You've got unlimited funds. Yeah. You can do whatever you want with FFP now. You could have replaced him, let's be honest. And you should have replaced him because you lack character, leadership on the pitch. Company brings that. You need to bring in a centre-back of that ilk to replace him. You then lose Arteta, another person who the players go to, who is the link man between Pep and them. You don't do anything there. You don't replace him there. So it's literally, there's a breakdown in communication there straight away. So that's one problem. Number 2, when did you last see Angelino go left back in the league, apart from when he came to Anfield? Why are you playing Angelino left back for one-off game away at Anfield against Salah, who is in prime form? He got torn apart. You didn't see him again since. Why not just stick with what you were going with? Because you tried to be too smart and it didn't work. So there's one thing, or there's 2 things, shall I say.
I think that's like the 4th thing.
18 to lose more games than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Pep Guardiola is a crime.
That's true.
A crime. A manager of his standard should one, they shouldn't be losing 9 games at all. Secondly, they shouldn't be losing more games than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Thirdly, they shouldn't be 18 points behind us. I do not care. That squad is better than every squad in that league. You put our squad against that squad, 10 times out of 10, everyone picks that squad. Yeah, you should not be finishing 18 points behind us. It's shocking. They get a 1. And I'm telling you now, if they win the Champions League, they'll get a 3. And I am so frustrated because as a manager, I look at Pep and you can take inspiration from him. I don't know whether it's his ego. You can definitely tell it's got to some of the players this year because they thought they'd won it instantly by the way they conduct themselves. Kyle Walker, who I think is a good right back.
Yannicka, you can cut him off at any point, innit? Like,
no, I agree. I think with we didn't replace Company, and I think with Company, what a lot of people don't realise is how much an influence he was off the pitch. It's hardly anything to do with how good he is on the pitch. It's actually the dressing room. Like what he, I think we lost that. I think that's the biggest loss this season is actually what we lost in the dressing room. On the pitch, people have bad games. There's things, we weren't, even though we scored over 100 goals, we were not clinical enough this season. And it sounds crazy to say it, but it's true. If you watch City's games, look at how many chances we have that De Bruyne will put on a plate and it doesn't go in. And then you look at the score and sometimes that game ends 1-1 or sometimes that game ends 1-0 to the other team and you think, how? Like they have one shot, it goes in. So I think it's crazy because sometimes you're looking and you're thinking, who do you blame? Because it's honestly it's crazy.
Complacency.
We've had
it's complacency in front of goal because they've built themselves. They've broke the points record. They won it back to back. They were hailed as the best team ever in the Premier League by media. It's complacency. So when they're in front of goal, They think they've already scored it before
Yeah,
they scored
yeah.
it. And that's my biggest problem with him is they came into this season with the wrong attitude.
Yes.
Pep Guardiola is the forefront of that because you should be replacing Vincent Kompany. You knew he was going months in advance.
Yeah.
You nearly lost Fernandinho last season. Fernandinho said that he was leaving, and then 2 weeks later, they managed to sort a contract out where he stays. You need to replace these players. You're not in Germany anymore. You're not in Spain anymore.
Because he can get away with it.
That
He
in
said
Germany
that.
and Italy and Spain.
You think he must put in Fernandinho centre back? He's 35. That's criminal. You
And
wouldn't play a 35-year-old centre back.
And then you spend another 50
That's a
plus
big
million on a right back, which you don't need.
Yeah, he's probably been the worst transfer this year as well.
Who?
Cancelo.
Was he Cancelo 50 mil?
50
I didn't
racks.
realise it was 50.
50 million
No,
racks.
Danilo went the other way, and it
Zinga
was something
racks.
else. It wasn't 50 mil.
It's poor.
I
You,
didn't like
you might as well have
Cancelo,
kept. You might as well have kept Danilo.
I think he wanted to go because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Danilo
Yeah, I
and I
think he
like
did.
and I do like
I think
Cancelo.
he
And
did.
when you watch him, he is getting better and better. But because I think he needs to run the games. When you're new to a league, you need to come in and
Yeah.
you need to play, and he isn't.
It's true.
He's 1 week he's in, then he's out, then he's in a different cup where he's playing,
Yeah,
Sheffield Wednesday, and then he's playing against, Real Madrid. Like, it needs to be consistent, and I think next season, I think you'll see a better Cancelo because I really do like him.
I think we'll see a better City. Like, I think he's
Yeah.
not
Oh
coming
yeah,
for
of
the
course.
jugular now.
We bounce back. We
Yeah.
tend to bounce back. We
I
have
think-
seasons like this every so often.
I feel like
so.
he's like, alright, we coming back.
But this is one thing, and this might be a black mark on Pep because I think that's twice now he's done this at City where he's probably underperformed as a manager. The team's underperformed, and then he throws the checkbook at it. It was like that first season where they just went and brought in.
Like 300 million on just defenders.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Man of the defense like an army. These people spent literally a war budget.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He had a black mark when he spent 50 million on John Stones.
But do you get what I'm saying? So for me, their City, if you really deep it, are probably the most underperformed team this season.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, in the league, we haven't
Yeah.
been. Nobody would say we've had a good season in the league. Everyone's
then-
saying,
The simple fact that you've just said though they've scored 100 goals as underachievers
Yeah, exactly.
shows the high
Nice.
levels.
I
But it
can't-
just shows how much of a shambles the defence is.
Yeah,
It's crazy that
Yes.
you,
Yeah.
Yannicka, as
Yeah.
a City fan, said we scored over 100 goals, but we haven't been clinical enough.
yeah. That just sounds mad, bro.
That
it's
is
true.
mad.
Yeah, honestly.
That sounds like we've just cut up what she said and just pieced it together. You know what I mean? Like, so like we've just, you know what I mean?
That's
edited
one of them. That's
the
one of the
audio.
videos people will edit and be like, "You said this, then said
Yeah.
this. You score 100 goals, but you're not clinical enough." Yeah, that's wild. It
That's
is.
what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I'll run through some of these. Where was we at? Stefan said Leicester 7.5. Good job. Faris said Red Devils 6 out of 10. Leicester 6. He said Brenda 2. Why you use a lot harsh, you know? Chelsea. He's calling Brendan Rodgers. Brendan. you call him.
Yeah, Brent. Is that
Brendan.
the one? Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea 7.5 out of 10. He said Aiden Andrews says Chelsea 6.5. Didn't Pulisic come this summer? Yeah, he did. Stefan says United 6 out of 10 because Ollie starts the season with Pereira and Lingard. Yeah, you know what? I can't even argue with that, to be honest. United 5 first half was shocking. That is true. Oh yeah, we're going to Liverpool. Last one because here Faris says 9.75 out of 10. What do you give Liverpool? What do you give them?
Anything less than a 10 is
No,
a
it's 10,
crime.
man.
And
You're
I'll tell you
champions.
why.
Go on,
Because
state your case. Because
Uh,
I was gonna say 9, but state your case. You might be able to tell me 10.
we weren't the favourites going into this season, regardless what anybody said.
True.
Manchester City were the favourites.
Yeah.
The season before, City were hailed as the greatest Premier League team ever.
Even
We're
though I
18
believe it was
We're
incorrect. that is right.
18 points clear of that team. We had the title wrapped up in December. I didn't want to
Facts.
admit it, but we
Yeah.
had the title wrapped up in December.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for how we performed since lockdown and since we won it and stuff like that, I guarantee if there was no break with coronavirus, we'd break the points record.
Possible. It's possible. Okay, so you're saying 10 out of 10. Yannicka?
I'd say 9.5. And
Okay.
my only reason for that is because I think where they were kind of in January, it looked like they were going to knock all the records. It looked like they were going to finish 20 odd points ahead of us. And a lot of the records they've kind of matched or not beaten. So that's my only reason. But they've had a fantastic season. They went there to win it and they did it. So I can't hold my hands up. They had a great season. But I just think the records were there to be broken. And
Yeah.
I think they could have broken them. In
We
my
were in prime
opinion.
position because we spoke on a couple of teams like that
Yeah.
who had fell off. Your Sheffield United, your Leicesters. Go on, JV.
It's a 10, innit? You started the season.
Yeah.
Say I'll use the same thing what I use for those relegation clubs at the start of the season.
Yeah.
If the chairman comes into Liverpool and says, "Right, I want you to win the league," they've done what was required.
Done.
They've not there even only because how good they've been this season,
Yeah.
going through the season, has more been expected of them. But if I'm telling at the start,
That's a fair point.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Objectives can change,
Yeah.
but yeah, I get what you're
at the
saying.
start, if you say win the league
Yeah.
after 30 years,
Yeah,
They've
take
hit
it.
the target.
If
They've hit
you'd
the
have said
target.
to every Liverpool fan, you're going to win the league, the last game of the season with an own goal, every single one of them will
Yeah,
win.
you
I will
won't
take it right now.
But here's the thing: is like objectives change. So say for instance, you're trying to stay up, and it's
No,
like right, you
no,
gotta
to
get
fans,
yeah, to fans. But even to say your chairman's like, I get 40 points on the board. If you have 30 points after 25 games, then you should get way over 40 points. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but,
So it's kinda like
but
changes.
for Liverpool, who've not won a league in 30 years, our only objective is
Yeah,
the Premier League.
I get
So
what you're
our
saying.
objectives
do you
won't
know what it
change.
is?
Go on. So
The scary thing about Liverpool is they've won the league and been able to take the foot off the gas.
yes,
That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
If they do have the same season, if they have the same effect on the season next year and don't take the foot off the gas,
Yeah.
that's even more scary.
I get
There will
what
be
you're saying.
even more of a problem.
because
Do you get what I'm saying?
Machiavelli here said City lost one less game than Arsenal in the same amount of games as Wolves. He also said Liverpool
Yeah.
9 because they were saying they were going to break all these records, but they didn't and did nothing in the cups. That's why I would give
Yeah.
Liverpool a 9.5.
Bit down.
Is the disappointment in terms of, like we was talking, the Premier League, because they had it wrapped up. All right, put more energy and effort into winning the FA Cup. Obviously, they won the Champions League, but win another Champions League, going further in the League
Bro,
Cup.
do you
That's
know
why I
why?
say 9.5. Go on,
Do you know why they don't have to win the Champions League?
because they just won it this season.
Because they're
before.
still celebrating it, bro. They're celebrating it with this one. You get what I'm saying? So them man, I'm being serious. This is how their brains is.
I get what you're
This is
saying.
how these man
even
are
though I think
thinking.
it's even though I think it's the wrong way to look.
Yeah,
at
it
that's
is.
the
It
only
is
reason
the
why I
wrong
think
way.
it's a 10.
But I'm telling you right now.
Like if they would have won a League Cup and the Premier League, I probably would have.
Do you know why I'm glad they didn't win the Champions League this season?
Why?
Because they will make up a next thing with double Champions League champions. You know what I'm saying? Man will say we're Champions League champions twice in the same
I'm
year.
fully for all the agenda.
This is what man will be talking. You
Quadruple
know,
winners, everything.
man will be saying we're Champions League winners twice in 1 year.
Yeah.
Who's ever done that?
Yeah, I get what
You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad they didn't do all these madnesses.
Nah, I fully get what you're saying in that. So I said 9.5. You said 10. Yannick, you said 9.5.
9.5.
They hit the
You said
target.
10. Alright, nah, that's fair enough. Like, I can't dispute. It's literally half a mark,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
can't really dispute that. But salute to everybody who was tuned in, whether you was watching live on YouTube or you was listening via DAB Radio or the app or whatever else way to listen to us. Yeah, DAB Radio, we out here. Don't know. But yes, we do. You know what? I was saying that to some.
Yeah,
I was
remember
like,
saying this.
we need a number to be like 92.9.
Pi Radio 92.5 FM.
Yeah, it'd be
You know what I'm
great.
saying?
That's
We
what
need
I'm
a
saying,
jingle
man.
like that, innit?
But all you have to do anyway, people, is just retune your DAB radio.
And it's not really 92.5 before you go
don't-
looking for it.
Don't go
Yeah.
looking for that. Don't go find Magic FM or something like that. But yeah, all you have to do is just retune your DAB radio and you will find it. And like I said, there's ample ways to watch us or listen in. So like I said,
Ample ways.
ample ways. You can watch live. Use like that word, innit? You can watch live on YouTube or download the Pi Radio app or just go to the website. Whichever way it is. That's what I'm saying. But yes, this has been From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio, and we will be back next week, 7 p.m. Salute.